Time for some Duran Duran. Hungry like the wolf.
Her name is
Trollord Games. Join the fray.
Good song.
just like that river.
Oh, it worked.
Went
Sort of.
through a dusty land.
What's up, everybody?
Oh, God, we're everywhere.
We're all over
Raymond
the
looks
place.
good. I don't know what he did. Raymond's looking good.
He's
Raymond's
lost
looking-
a lot of weight.
Raymond's looking sharp. I screwed up the stream
He-
setup this morning, but that's okay. It'll be all right.
Well, you know, he's a thief, so he's currently invisible. Best cosplay.
It's not the real
ever.
campaign right now anyway. So
Best cosplay ever.
Best cos. No, he's just invisible.
Do. I'm still setting this stream up, but welcome everybody to our first. Well, we had session 0 last time we played. Now today's session 1. I have a plan. This campaign's planned to go for 7,000 sessions. We'll keep track of them. Let's see.
Exactly, Wolf. Nat 20.
What did Wolf say?
Brennan, Nat 20 and hide.
Such an impatient little bean. You tell him, Willie. Y'all are a rough crowd this morning. The gratuitous nudity. What do you mean? What is that supposed to mean, Wolf? That's hurting. Listen, in my days in the porn industry, a lot of people like to see my performances. But, you know, I have retired. I had to turn somebody down the other day. It was a retirement party. They wanted me to go and perform, but, you know, I just didn't feel like I was up to it. My cane was broke.
I was tired yesterday and I'm tired today. Does that make me retired?
No, but you know
Yes.
what? I've discovered that I can clean my shirt by scratching off stuff off my monitor. Wow, my shirt's clean now. It's amazing. All right, let me get me a
Can you do
label
that
up
for
here.
me too?
You know, they have washing machines for stuff like that.
My God, look, Tracy's getting younger. What's going on?
Ah, yay! You can make
Sick.
my hair
What's
like-
up with you? What's wrong with you, Smooth? You can't be getting sick.
Woke up sick. Boo.
I understand though. I've been sick a lot here lately, so I can't say anything. Let me get I need to get a label on me real fast here. If I can remember how to do that.
Label.
Label. Such
Keeper
a
of the
label.
castle.
That's right. That's very true. Where is?
You should do
there
that
it
instead
is.
of castle keeper. Just put keeper of the castles.
Keeper of the castle. Oh wait, I think I have one in here already. Haha, look at that. Add. Booyah! Look at that. It already works. It's already here. If I can just slide that in right here. That's a lengthy. It's a lengthy one there.
Oh, it's big. Big chunk.
Oh, it's bigger than y'all's in it. Yeah, I need to fix that.
Well, you're the castle keeper. It should
Yeah,
be
I'm not into all that though. It's like
I'm the boss of you.
No. I think it's COVID still couldn't miss the stream. You shouldn't, because this is a new group, and you know we got a couple people out right now. Jeremy's passed
Too
out
much of
somewhere in
Chuck's
the
not
alley.
always a good thing.
I don't know where he's at. What, Pat? Be nice.
Nothing?
It's funny
What?
how your green screen crops.
Yeah, I know.
your-
That's why I don't like wearing this. Otherwise,
Maybe
it
if
would
you
be
just
cool.
pushed it down further.
How about that? I sit farther down in my chair. Oh wait, I'm a gnome. Here we go. That's my camera angle, Chuck. I'm a
No
gnome.
wonder. So my selection for
Except
the
your-
font is crappy.
Your
Look
name
at
is blocking your face
That's good.
in the overlay.
that. Let me look at the stream real quick. See what's
I
going
feel
on.
discriminated against. Chuck hates
Whoa!
gnomes.
What happened here? What? What's happening? Let's see. I can do Vecna. Ooh, that looks kind of neat. But I'm trying to match up with you guys. I have no idea. Y'all probably got like Ariel or some crap. Who knows? Let's see if that's what it is. Yeah, that was
You
what
want me
it
to wear the
is.
hat I wore last week, Tracy?
But I can't make my.
I don't remember. Oh God, that was funny. I died. So the neat thing about Twilight Elves is they're little. Apparently, I have an affinity for playing little characters.
Wow, that's just not gonna let me
That's fair.
change. Look at
Although I'm
that.
probably still taller
well.
than Pat.
I'll have to fix it next time. Nice hat,
That's a
Pat.
good hat, Pat.
That's
America.
the way it's gonna have to be right there.
It's
And
America.
then opacity is gonna
America.
be.
I don't even
Chuck,
look at how
Chuck
tall
can
my
only
character is.
Chuck can only fix this stuff on stream while we're playing because otherwise
Twilight
he's never available.
No.
No, I don't have time.
This is the only time he
The
gets to sit in
Twilight-
front of his computer.
Twice, yes, that's the truth.
Funny.
Shane. Do Twilight Elves glimmer in the sunlight? We're gonna find out. Hopefully, she'll be laying on the beach somewhere, bleeding out in a little bit. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe not. Okay, so I got the stream.
Is
Looks
there-
like it's set up okay. Half-assed, whatever. We're good to go. People
Does her
scrolling
blood
in here to
pink?
watch. Welcome everybody. I wasn't expecting this many people early, but that's okay. Let me put some stuff. I got crap everywhere. I need some dice, don't I? Well, I don't know if I need dice or not.
I suggest using the toilet for pooping and
What?
not pooping on your desk. You said you had crap everywhere. Don't poop on
Terrifying.
your desk.
Oh,
That's
you were
gross.
trying to be funny. Oh, I got dice everywhere. I swear.
Oh,
Chuck,
I-
we
yeah.
we encourage her
I'll get
to
these
try.
here.
Need-
Okay.
I'll
we're
get
gonna need-
these.
You roll real dice, right?
So here's what I got. Here's what I got from the
We-
con. I got
I have
this
real dice.
strawberry Chessex one. I think y'all may have seen those before. They're like a strawberry
Oh,
No,
you know?
watermelon kind of
nobody
thing.
wants. Nobody wants to hear what you got from the
Strawberry
con.
fields forever.
This right here is I heard you. It's a 5e die. It's for advantage and disadvantage. Kind of different, weird for my collection.
Oh.
Y'all can see that.
It's for hearts and skulls.
Yeah, that's my understanding. It's like for death. Oh, it's death saves. Sorry, death saves.
Death
Death
saves. Yeah.
saves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
And then my buddy at Black Oak Workshop, Craig Zipsy, good buddy of mine. He's the one who gave me that. He gave me this set here too. They're really pretty.
Oh, that looks nice.
Yeah.
Oh, those are
I
neat.
think I hope that we can use him. We want to try to get some dice made, and I really like it. These dice are a little bit chunkier, so you got room for a logo. See, that's a nice big logo right there.
Yeah.
You know, they're just a little bit chunkier, which I like anyways, because I got tons of 12mm dice. I don't really
I
care
use
about
a
'em.
just dice tray.
Do you? Yeah, I don't know. I use whatever boxes, whatever.
I got.
I'm pretty funny actually. I just use whatever I can
Nice,
find.
Pat.
Mine. Oh, mine. Does yours snap, Pat?
Paper clips. I make
Y'all
my
got-
own
You may. Oh,
cardboard duct tape and paper
and
clips,
duct tape.
and
I
then I
went
put
to
art in the middle.
that con this past summer out in Iowa, and they gave me a brand new one of those nice snap ones, you know, from like I forget what company. And I keep forgetting to get it out. It's sitting in my desk or in my shelf, just filed in with all the books. I keep forgetting about it.
Yeah, I just remembered something.
What's that?
I'm
He's
not
got an
using my little
appointment.
box anymore.
You
Dice
what?
made out of
Oh.
wood.
I'm not using the little box anymore. Give me a second.
Yeah, you can get dice made out of wood. I've got some wooden dice. They're nice if you can get them. I've seen some nice wood sets I'd like to get, but I don't need any dice anymore. I've got like 14,000 dice or something. I'm not making that up.
Coffee.
I don't collect them anymore. I try not to, anyways. I mean, like I got like, just for an example, I got jars of these just sitting around my whole gaming room, just tons of dice. I don't know what to do with all this stuff. I'll give them all to my granddaughter. You know. All right. So let's get started. I don't really have a whole lot planned for today, other than making sure the campaign's moving
TPK.
forward with three solid players. Hopefully, Melanie will show up. Or Mel, not Melanie. God, she's not here to hear that. Thank God. Mel, and then Jeremy. Jeremy's passed out
You
asleep.
just woke her up. She was like laying there, healing,
Yeah.
and suddenly,
Someone spoke my name wrong.
across the
So-
universe.
Chuck, I can finally use this.
Was it?
Was that a
Maybe
dice statue?
Oh,
four.
yeah, I forgot about that. He said that thing forever.
Put it together.
It's awesome.
Oh,
What
wait,
is
let's
it?
see. Show it again.
It's great.
It's so dark.
It's
in
a
the background.
plague doctor. Dice
Oh,
tower.
Oh.
yeah.
It's badass. Yeah, I love it.
It is a
You
dice
could-
tower.
Yeah, Savage.
Yeah.
That's
Dice
my
tower?
problem.
So, like, what you drop it in its
I
head?
used to collect a lot. I don't anymore. But
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it drops out like right here at the bottom.
that's awesome.
It poops it out.
I'd like to have one here at the house. I've got a castle one, but like a castle tower. I think y'all have seen it before, but wherever it's at.
And-
We're supposed to
and
play
when-
tonight. I don't know where all my shit is. I don't know. I was gone for a week.
My-
Game Con. My wife just
I have
she
I have a
cleaned up
really
my gaming
nice,
room.
lovely tower,
Who does that?
but it's
Girl.
invisible.
I mean, I'm not sure how good it's gonna go with this thing, but we'll figure it out.
Lost my clipboard now. Where is
But
my
normally I just use like a little box.
I had the clipboard last night.
I
Sitting
can
here.
finally use this.
Oh, I see it. I'll be right back.
Thanks for coming today, everybody. By the time we get started, it'll be time to stop.
stream.
Oh, we've already started. Can you not tell? This is how it works with our streams. We just hang out.
We're
Look at
in
that.
a pub.
Look at that beast. I got that from my
That's
granddaughter.
good. That's
It's rubber.
That's my.
You can bounce it. She loves it. It's fun.
My dog would have that in pieces.
Oh yeah.
With my puppy. This beast, by the way, that y'all have been seeing poking in, she is only, well, she'll be 9 months old in a week, and she weighs 74 pounds. She's a beast.
All right, Wolf.
Where chop?
All right, so let me make sure I've got everybody right. We got Heirloom the Druid, right? And Heirloom.
Yeah.
I put Loon on here. I
Loon.
wasn't far off, was I, Pat?
No, not even.
All right, so Heirloom's you're what level did you guys go with? I don't remember what level you. Oh yeah, you're
You
third.
said 3.
Yeah. So
We
we're
didn't
third
go
level.
with it. You said 3.
Yeah, well, you know, Hero Loin, you're killing me. All right, so they're all third level. She's playing a druid.
An old druid. A really,
An
really
old-
old.
evidently.
Yeah, I've decided to go old.
Really old.
So what
Really,
is
really old.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, good berry.
Go ahead.
I'm just thinking in my head here.
That's a strange
And then
question.
she's playing a third level druid. And then we'll get to introductions and all that in a little bit. And then Pat is doing Mandrith, wizard. What race are you again, Pat?
Gnome.
No.
Gnome.
That's right.
If only Chuck would read the DMs we send him.
I read them. I just forget them.
He doesn't have time for that.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing happens. I'm just trying to think what I'm going to do here. I was thinking about putting y'all's races in your names too, but damn, that makes it really long. But I don't know. What do you think?
I think you need somebody to make you an actual layover so you can figure that stuff out.
I can make layovers. I just don't like them anymore. Problem is if you try to update something, you got to go back and update them. I'm tired of updating stuff. That's why I just like having a regular title and that's it. Lazy man. Oh well, we'll leave it like that for now. And then Rim's got a third level thief. Okay, so all right.
Not
So
a thief. Not a thief, Chuck. Not a thief.
I thought you made a thief. Try to be nice.
No.
I mean,
I play Soul Slide games.
if you want to go around and tell people the truth, what are you doing? What is she doing? She's got a beast attacking her. All right,
I'm
so
just
let's
an
see.
assassin
I'm a
that
druid.
specialized
I'm
in the
friends
creatures
with
on the
all
island.
animals.
Let's talk a little bit about let's talk a little bit about the campaign we're going to be doing. So this campaign is going to be called Jungles of Inklu-Naid. I think if I have it, I will import maps and stuff while we're in here talking. Let me see what I've got here real quick. Graphics. Chuck. I do have some. That's good. So what we're going to do is we will bring out the world map wherever it is.
Isn't thief like one of the expanded classes?
It is. I use
So
that
you're a
term.
thief?
I use that term very general. To me, a rogue, a thief, a bandit, it's all the same to me. I just call them thieves.
It's all the same.
I wasn't being class specific when it comes
But
to
you
that.
know, rogues don't necessarily need to be like physical thieves. They could be
They
a
can be
broker
spies.
of information, spy, right? Just because they're in the thieves guild doesn't mean they're a thief, pickpocket,
There we
even if
go.
they're good at it. Don't be judging.
Give it a rest, Sister Jingle Pockets.
Sister Jingle Pockets. All right, so there's the world of Aird.
Here we are.
Wow, this map
Oh,
is
beautiful.
huge. That's
Is
updated map.
So, who made this map?
This is ours. Steve updated it. He put some more stuff on it. Looks great. I really like it a lot. He fixed the graphics on it and stuff, sharpened it up. I'm glad because I always liked it. I didn't really want to get it redone. You know what I mean? But my God, this file's huge.
Yes, my Willie, my pup is a blink dog. She's very good at that.
Get this on the screen. My goodness gracious. Is that the whole? No, the map is still huge. It's a huge map. We'll try this one more time.
You can cover us, Chuck. It's
Your
fine.
map is so big, it's just out there.
It's just out
I
there.
like big maps, and I cannot lie.
God help us. All right. So this is the world. This is the world of Aird. This is the new map
You
right
could
here.
put that as the
Um,
put it as a lower layer, and we can just be on top of it.
You could. We could do that, but I like hiding you, Trace.
Okay.
But we're gonna make it a little bit smaller anyway because I'm getting ready to zoom in on this thing. I need to get a cutout, really, actually, but that's okay for intensive purposes. All right. In the world of
On that
Air, this
big
campaign
island
is going to be taking place. Where's my little red circle at? There. So it's going to be taking place right here. That's where we're going to be venturing out for the most part in this campaign, which is south of the main continent of Air, right? Now, as you guys, a lot of you know in the stream, a lot of fans of the stream know that in Air, the world was covered up by a winter dark for 1,000 years, ruled by the horn god Unklar, very evil dude. And about 60 years ago, he got defeated, banished, if you will. And the world's been slowly trying to recover these last 60 years. Now, there was a war, obviously, going on up to the point of his demise. So parts of the world was freed from his oppression much early on, a few hundred years, actually. But the center of the world where he was really based at was over here in the cradle of the world, which is right there. And that's
this is
basically
Unklar.
Yep. He had a tower there. See what maps I have loaded in here, and I'll show you.
That was
Yeah, so if I go,
during the Greyhawk Con. Ooh, ta-da! Blue Box did. He was going to do a 2-shot, but it was a 1-shot, and we were at these towers in looking for the followers of Unglu or something like that. I remember that.
Right.
I was in that campaign.
Well, here's the cradle of the world where I was just pointing to. I'm gonna put this over here, and I'll pull this map up. It's a little bit bigger. I don't have all the maps on this setup for what I was going to talk about. But anyway,
Codex of Air, available
yeah, this
on
is the
Steam
cradle of the
Store.
world. And if you go over here to the right, over here, there's an area right here called the Darkened. I'll show you further.
Yeah, we know all about the Darkened Woods.
All right, the Darkenfold and all that. But over here, the Darkenfold's over here. But over here is an area called New Enoch. God, I hate this pulling and dragging stuff. That's okay. There's no zoom.
Oh, I know. It sucks.
Anyway, all right. So
That's
just
where,
for those that want to know, this is where the Tower of Alstrag was, right there. Okay. That's where he ruled from, ruled the whole world from there. So there's still the tower's still there.
Oh.
This area here is going to be rife with his army still, his whole setup. Because even though he's banished, there's still whole parts of the world, like down here below, down here in this area right here, the Confederation of Tort. Calm down. Down in this area right here, they openly worship him still. I mean,
see where it says Barrenwood right above New Enoch?
Mm-hmm.
That's where my wizards comes from.
Right.
And what was this guy's name again?
Unklar. Or Uncle Lars, if that helps any.
Uncle Lars.
K-L-A-R.
Yep.
He's the bad guy.
I just think Uncle Lars.
He was one of the very bad gods. That's right. Now he's gone now,
And
of course.
But okay, I was going to ask. He's not living.
Well, he's banished.
disappeared.
He's a god, so he's not in this plane of existence. Right, correct.
God, banished.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Unklar, God, banished.
I'm gonna make this map a little bit bigger. Probably have been faster just to cut some stuff out, but this will work okay. We'll use this right here for now. Let me do this.
Unklar is Sauronish.
What map is it trying to grab? That's really weird. I tell you, I know I'm about to get on a little soapbox, and I don't want to get on a soapbox. But that's why. Okay.
Yeah, because if you stood up, then nobody'd be able to see your face
Who,
on
me?
camera unless
Oh,
you
you're
like,
being
yeah,
funny.
unless you
Oh,
like tipped your camera up,
Christ
then
Almighty!
we
Look at
could
this. This map's out of control.
out
Let's
of
do this.
control.
There, that's better. She gets on my nerves. All right. Anyway, so that's where this is taking place, basically. Now, did you come up with the background where you were from, Tracy, and your character? Yeah. You
Well,
don't
I
have
thought
to.
you said
No,
that I
no,
had
no,
to
terrified.
be.
She's like,
Whoa, shh, shh, Nikes. Um, I thought you said that I had to be, like, because I'm a Twilight elf, that I had to be from that northern area,
no,
or
that's the
can I be
mists,
from
mist elves. I mean, you can be from
the
anywhere. It
Mist
doesn't matter to me.
the
What,
Jungle Island,
you went with
where
Twilight. Okay, did you go with Twilight elf as well?
Twilight.
So we have
I
two.
am the only. I am no. I'm the only Twilight elf.
Okay,
Yep.
I understand now. I got you.
I think I'd just be from where we are.
Yeah, you guys are from the mainland.
Can,
Yeah,
can
yeah,
I
yeah.
can I be from Inklu-Naid?
I mean, you could, but it probably would be better if you were from up here
Okay.
for story's sake. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you'll understand more later, of course, but
Sure.
there's not a lot of Twilight elves down there where you're going, where you guys will be playing. You wouldn't be very common there, which is not a big deal. But I'm just saying, for story's sake, it'd probably be better if you came from the mainland. Does that make sense?
Okay.
But I want to add another image here. I want to look and see if I have this. It should.
By the way, the circle is still on the stream. You're
I
right.
Yeah,
put my
yeah.
synopsis in the chat for chat. This is where Mandrich is from.
I'm gonna have you guys post up your backgrounds, and we'll put them in Discord. I just gotta get with you guys. Let's see.
Yeah.
I did not make a background.
Let's see.
I usually make like elaborate backstory, and it's been a crazy week.
I don't need you to because you may not live. You know, you don't want to do anything too crazy.
'Cause
I mean, that's how it
bit
works in
by a
Jeff's games.
poisonous plant, and I died.
I don't think
worry.
I don't think he's saying that you're going to die from combat. It's just that you're so old, your heart could just give out at any point.
Ooh.
Oh.
Well,
Don't worry. I can talk to plants.
I can just see Tracy in her first combat thing. What the heck was the name of that spell? It's right on the tip of my tongue. What was it called?
Goodberry! Throw it at the bad guy.
good Lord. All right, so let me hop over here and get. I'm gonna grab.
Oh, I would pay to see Chuck hop. Go ahead.
It wouldn't be much of a hop. I promise you that.
I'm quite intrigued, Chuck, to see how you use the beauty stat.
The beauty stat. What is yours?
8 minus
yeah.
1.
We're all going to be interested to see how that works out with you.
So she's an old crone. Okay.
An old.
I think my beauty stat's 17, isn't it?
I got a bird nest in my hair. I love my little birdies, friends. They just cheep cheep cheep. Come here, little birdie. I love them. Hey,
For the
look, I got
love of God.
my book, my player's handbook, so I can go to Druid.
It's 40 megabytes. It's 14 megabytes. It's 149 megabytes. We'll probably use this one. Golly, that's a high res.
Ranger,
PDF.
fighter.
All right, I'm going to try and get a map up here that you guys can look at. I'm getting tired of scrolling around like that. That's crazy. Can't do it.
Ain't
What do
gonna
we base
do
our
it.
bonus? What do we base our bonus to hit on again? Because we're level 3. I didn't put mine in.
It'll be in a chart and your class.
Ah, yes.
There we go. There we go. That's much nicer.
Wizard.
Yeah, that'll work. That's pretty good.
Wizard. Bonus to hit is 1. +1. God,
That
you stay
sounds.
+1
I
for.
was gonna say that that sounds wrong.
No, it's not. It is.
That sounds wrong.
Level 1 bonus to hit is 0. Level 2 it's
I'm
1. 3 it's 1. 4
I'm
it's.
sexy.
yeah.
I get bonus to hits better than that.
Yeah.
You're not playing your knight.
Yep, no charismatic knight for you.
Actually, my charisma is on the high side. 14. And being a gnome, that's actually double because it's condensed charisma. So it's more
Ah,
like 28.
If only.
Castles and Crusades, Pat's Way.
Yeah. No kidding.
Everybody's wondering, what's the circle for? There's something on Remen's wall right there.
Wait, did I
Look
say correctly?
close. See if you can find it.
Yes.
This thing. I just told it to save and downloads.
Chuck, please leave the circle up there the entire day
Should I do
game
it?
so it
Should I
just
do it?
drives crazy.
Oh, she's the one that's complaining? Oh, then absolutely.
No,
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
not complaining. I think
No,
it's funny.
move-
I think we can
Move it
chat
every
to,
now
like,
and then just to
I
see if
think-
she notices.
I think we can handle
Yes.
that.
Just a little bit, you know.
All right, let me reset this.
Just put it over
So-
Tracy's face on her camera.
all
That's
right,
it.
there we go.
Put me in the circle.
All right, let me make this thing a little bit
Circle
smaller.
of life.
Circle of life.
And it moves us all.
Okay, there are no bards in this campaign. Please stop karaokeing.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna leave you right there. Cut you off. And then I don't know what that is right there. What is that map that's showing right now? What is that?
That's
Inklu-Naid.
Oh, you know what I think that is? I think that's a live. Is that turned on? Let me look. This setup here is old, and I was going through there trying to fix this morning, but time got away from me. I'm trying to find. I think that's the actual. I've got a thing that's set up to where it'll show like a PDF thing. Let me look through here and see. Screen capture. Yep, there it is. There we go. I don't know how that got cut off. All right, so let's get a couple of maps put in here. I made up real quick, and that'll give us a little idea to talk about some things. So, first off, you guys are drop that right in there. Make it a little bit smaller. So everybody can see that okay? Is that all right? Is that all right? Yeah. How's that look?
you know, if you put it in fantasy ground, we can look at it whatever size we want.
Oh, I will eventually, but this is just for
Oh.
today. Okay. Because I don't
Okay.
want to, take 100 million hours up. I don't even have fantasy ground set up for the stream yet. So, but that's okay. We don't need it for this for today. Actually, we don't really need it. This is good for now. I'll work on that in a little bit. So let me look at the stream and see how that looks because I want to make sure everybody can see it. Can everybody on the stream see that okay? See the map okay? Everybody see it all right? Is it good?
Well, it depends. What are we looking at?
If you can read it or not. Can you read the map?
I can see New
The,
Anik.
the big words.
The big
Bay
words.
of Electu, Gulf of Barakia.
You can
All
read
right.
better than I can. I can't see that.
Let's
stuff.
try this in.
I made it big.
This might be a little bit
I have a
better.
smaller monitor.
Watch this. This will work out really well. Is that better? How's that?
Yeah,
look?
way more readable.
Okay.
Way much more better.
All right. All right.
Better
So
R.
just so that people know, when we're going to start up here in just a minute, but when we do, they are going to be starting. It's not the right map. Oh, I didn't bring it in. One more map for you guys. We'll cut him
Where's
off
the
for now.
the Twilight Wood? Is that close? Twilight Wood. Oh, oop, it's gone.
Way to go, Tracy. You broke it.
I did.
Way to go, Tracy. Way to break
Yeah.
shit. There we go.
Is the Twilight Wood on this map?
Probably not.
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
So
Let me get the stuff you said.
now that's pretty good. Let me get that locked down. Okay. And okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so when we start this off right here in a minute, we're going to be taking place right here. Oh, well, I guess I probably need these maps are still not been pulled down in the folder. Hold on. Move them down here so they'll shut up.
Tracy, look, the circle moved.
There we go.
No, it didn't.
Mhm.
Same spot.
Nope.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. It's the same spot.
All right, so we're going to be starting off right along this coast right here. Okay, right there. That is the cradle of the world that we're talking about earlier. Now, let me look on the map and see how that looks for everybody to see. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, specifically, you guys are going to be taking place on an area called the Isle of Onus, which is right in there, and that's what this other map is right here. All right. And you guys are going to be I'm gonna have to use the stream to look too because I can't read. Right there, I think that's right. Let me look at my PDF.
The Gulf of Scott Bakula.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Oh, I was gonna ask this earlier, Chuck.
Yeah, Conrad
You
City
doing
is where we're
giveaway
going.
today?
We can. Yeah, I'm glad you asked.
Let's give away Tracy.
Can we do that? Who wants to give away for Tracy? Yeah, let me start a giveaway up. That's good. We can do that. Let me do the giveaways. Today is off kilter day for us for sure. Got up late. Too much going on in real life. And now
Is
this
there a
stupid
medicated cream for that onus?
it's onus.
Do I come with the
Onus.
dog? Dog. Dog.
All right, giveaways
dog.
up. If you haven't followed, please give us a follow. Experience Point raffle for a couple $10 codes we'll give away. There we go.
Raffle. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
All right, so we're going to be going to you guys going to be starting in Conrad City. All right, now, and he's what is? Did Pat just get up and walk away? What kind of shit is that?
Conrad City.
Mm-hmm. It's not anywhere notable. It's just in that place I picked. Now,
Okay.
just for you, because you were asking about the Twilight Woods and all that, right?
Yeah, I'm reading that the Twilight Elves chose
looked
to
it up.
stay rather than leave
That's
with
right.
the coming of Unklar. We're like, screw you, I'm staying here. You can't.
Right. A lot of the elves left the whole world. They left completely. Then the mist elves went up north, up in the mist shelves of mist, or whatever it's
They
called.
cloaked themselves in shadow and thus became the Dark Elves of legend.
The Dark Elves of legend.
Twilight Elves are the smallest of all elves, standing between 4 and 5 feet tall on average. They dress in shadows and dark cloaks, carrying all manner of weaponry.
Does it say where the Twilight Woods is? Because I'm trying to remember.
No, I was looking. I'm like, I'm Twilight. Is there a map in the Codex of Aird?
There might be. I can't remember.
Linked to Aird in the Twilight Wood.
It took me half an hour to find out where my gnome came from because it was so vague.
The Twilight Woods hunker along the eastern edge of the Massif, MASSIF, like a wolf ready to pounce. It was once connected to the Elethian Wood, marking its southern
the Lothian
terminus.
Wood? Is that what you said?
ELITHIAN.
Oh, hell, I didn't tell me. This world's too big.
It is. Is there a map in the Codex?
I don't know.
There's got to be maps in here, right?
Go look and see. I know not. I'm trying to remember what Twilight Woods is.
That's all right.
So long ago, but it doesn't really matter because
where all the vampires come from.
Yeah, that's it.
Twilight vampires.
I thought it was near the Darkenfold, but I don't see it. I'm not going to worry about it right now. But anyway, so
yeah, no, that's right.
You guys have arrived in Conrad City. you're part of an adventuring group that basically come together about 2 years ago. All right. Um, some of your party members haven't arrived yet. You've had a couple party members leave the group, but for the most part, it's been the same for a while. So you got a summons, and you guys traveled to Comrade City to talk to the sheriff of the city, the magistrate, he on high, whatever you want to call him. And he basically has brought you guys into his offices to talk about sending you out to look for something. So this guy is yeah, it's gonna be a long campaign, Wolf. I don't play around. I mean, they'll level about once a year.
We've been adventuring together for 2 long years, and we're only level 3.
Yeah.
People have left. It has nothing to do with my bathing habits and
What's a
my
level?
birds.
So
What's a level?
so anyway, you guys you're standing here in his offices, and he starts talking to you, and he tells you this is not an official thing. He's not working for the city of Conrad in this instance. He has been hired by 3 local merchants who want to try to expand their merchant trade routes on the ocean. Right? They want to try to start bringing stuff back from a place to the south. It's an island called Inklu-Naid. He tells you that it's basically well. Anyway, that's the plan. They want you guys to go scout it out and see what you can find out about there possibly being a trade route we can set back up there. There was a town there one time called New Enoch, and there's, according to what they have been told from words from traveling ships, that kind of thing, there's still somewhat a town there. But obviously, with the fall of the Enochian Empire, Unklar comes along. He rules the world for 1,000 years, and then he retreats. There's no clue as the state of that town, if it's actually inhabited, what's going on. Rumors say that ships still stop and put in port there to get supplies and stuff, but it's no longer obviously a major trading hub like it used to be, several hundred years ago. So they want to try to establish a network down there and try to run some ships from up here to down there, but they need some people to go scout it out. And they were told that you guys didn't mind to do some scouting for some personal favors. Some of you wanted money. He heard that some of you would be looking for knowledge, and that's pretty much why he's asked you to come. That's his pitch to you. All right.
What kind of knowledge?
It's just you and you two right now, Mandritz, are staying in this office. Mandritz and Hairloin. So before we go any farther, Tracy, why don't you talk about your character and tell a little bit about your character?
All right. Well, my character I am playing, her name is Heralorn, and she is a twilight elf. She's small, about 4'3". She's old. She's got very dark skin and vibrant purple eyes, as is typical of twilight elves. And she is a druid, and she's lived in the woods with her little birdie friends for a very long time. She even, similar to maybe some other book you may have read, keeps a bird nest on her head with so that her little birdie friends can always have, everybody needs a place to rest. Everybody come and settle in. So she just loves, gosh, she loves all the natures and the being outside, and being in buildings is very, oh, she doesn't like that much. And that is Hiralorn. She's wacky, and she thinks she's beautiful, no matter what other people might be a little offended by. Hmm. I think that's it.
Is that it? Okay.
Should there be more?
No,
Should
that's
there?
fine.
You
You-
know,
th-
Chuck, you could
Should
tell
there?
you were a teacher because you do that like, is that
What?
is that it?
No.
Like you're missing something? What I forget? Do I get a C?
You're fine.
Can I go to the bathroom? I don't know. Can you?
Can you go?
Do you
What?
have Do you have a hall pass?
All right, so if you can talk about your character, Mandrich.
Yes, Wolf.
Well, I put mine in stream, but that was so long ago. Well, basically, Mandrich is a gnome, and they used to live in a protected hollow by and the partnership with the Fae until the Witch Queen came and drove them out. And it was down by the lands of Ursel, down near the Amber Sea at the base of the Aratok Mountains. His family and several others traveled down to the Isle of Ionis to trade some crystals and diamonds for stores and supplies to get them through the winter. When word of the Queen's attack reached them, the entire island went on lockdown, and they were spared the fate of their village. A kindly wizard took them in and saw a spark in Mandrich that he didn't even know he had, and offered to train him in the ways of arcane magic. And ever since, he's traveled around and tried to make his mentor proud. And he is probably the most handsome, sexy gnome you'll ever lay eyes on. And that is Mandrich, the man witch.
If you're into gnomes.
Who isn't? Why wouldn't you be? That's so discriminatory, Tracy. Well, you're old. I mean, you're not into anything.
Sorry, Chuck. Old people. Hashtag geriatric. Can't
Hashtag
be into
elderly.
anything.
I'm all about the hashtag elderly. Use it all the time. People
I
say,
think
I'm
you
so
should
sorry.
upgrade
sir."
to geriatric.
Hashtag
Yeah, a lot of
gnome
people don't
lives
understand
matter.
that word, though. They don't. The young kids don't know what that means. They think it's, who's Jerry? So I went elderly. And what's the worst that's going to happen? They call me elder. That's what I did there. Anyway.
Let's go.
That leaves you, Remen.
Raymond.
He's not here right now.
Remen.
Oh, Remen's not here.
I'm not
No.
there.
What are you,
He's
Troll
not.
or Chuck?
Remen's not there.
Yeah.
But me and Tracy are?
Yes, the two of you. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh.
Oh.
Yep. You're sitting around this. He's got a little fire going in his office here, and you're sitting on the hearth having some mulled wine, and he's basically, explaining what he needs you to do. And he looks at you, Mandrich, and he says, Mandrich, what interests you the most that we could do to provide for you so that you feel like you're getting something out of this endeavor? This finch
Well-
make a nest in Lauren's hair. Oh, Statler. Anyway.
Mandrich just sits there and he ponders a little bit. He's like, well, I'm always looking for ways to improve the use of magic in the world because, magic's important. And if more people knew how to use it properly, it would make lives easier for people. So,
What if I told you that some of the papers we recovered, maps, showed the location of an ancient temple, supposedly holds within it the dragon's heart? Now, you probably don't know what that is. We didn't either. We did some research. But it seems like at some point in time when the Enotians had their empire down there, they had went into the interior and built some forts and such because they were trying to basically, and this is outside of game, but basically when the Enotian Empire was around before Unclar, they had taken over quite a bit of the world too, and they were trying to basically subjugate it, like Romans or Sumerians or whatever. And they had put some forts down there, and they were just trying to basically expand. Think of almost like how the Spanish did when they were trying to expand basically into the new world and stuff, right? Well, during that time, they came across a mine or some mines, and they were mining them for rare, precious jewels. These mines were filled with jewels or gems, and they were filled with also veins of gold and silver, platinum. And supposedly, in one of those mines, they unearthed a large ruby that almost looked like the shape of a heart. And supposedly, it had magical properties. Whoever possessed it could use those properties to basically recreate the abilities of a dragon. That's the tale behind it, right? So anyway, they come across this and they thought that maybe this might be something you would be interested in looking at because it supposedly gives you some of the ability to cast some unusual spells and have some unique abilities that are related to dragons. And they don't know much about it other than what little bit of research that they have on it, but they'd be willing to give that to you as part of your
Would
payment
I
for
need to
going.
roll? Would I need to roll like a recall knowledge check or something like that to see if in my training my master may have mentioned something like this, as as just kind of like a historical lore kind of thing of the old magics of the world.
What part of the world are you from?
Anik, the new Anik area. It was Haven Glen or something like that, and it got
Tell
run
you
over
what.
by the Witch Queen.
Most people, yes, exactly, yes. So most people would probably not know, but since you are a wizard and you are in an area was one
Yeah,
of the
we were
one of
known for mining diamonds and gems and stuff in that area. That's
well, there's also a connection here because back whenever there was trade going on with the southern part of the Inklu-Naid down there, a lot of it originated from this area here along this coastline. So I tell you what, I'll give you a percentile chance. I'll give you a 10%
okay.
chance. How's that?
So I need to roll 10 or lower.
Maybe.
So what else is one of these dice and then a 10-sided dice?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I like using a lot of percentiles in my games. So
Okay. So what would count as 0 on the percentile dice? 0 zeros? Or
yeah,
is that
yeah.
in 100?
Right. So basically it's going to be a 100 if it's 2 zeros, right? And the other one's a 0. Exactly.
Oh, there's an actual 10 on there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, wait. So if I roll 2 zeros on the percentile
Okay.
dice and then like a 7, that would be 7.
Right. Right.
So
If
it would be 100 if I rolled a 10 on the 10 and then the 2
That's
zeros,
right.
right?
That's
Okay.
right.
All right. I just want to make sure I was doing it right.
Yep. No, it's no problem. If you roll a 7 on the percentile and then a 1, it's a 71.
Okay. So 10 and 0 would be just 10, right?
No, it'd be 100.
No, I thought the double zeros.
So what did you roll? You rolled a double 0?
I rolled a 10 on the percentile dice and 0 on my 10-sided dice. So that would just be a straight 10, right?
Yes. I think
that's what I rolled.
Now you
Straight
got
10.
me confused.
I know. I don't normally use the percentile dice.
Well, the dice that I use, like I just rolled a 90 and an 8, so it'd be a 98. So you rolled a 10 and
I rolled
a 0?
a 10 and a 0. So that's 10
Right,
on the
and
percentile.
that's going to be
0
10.
on my 10 dice. 10.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I
Right.
rolled.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The dice I actually use are 2 10s. I've had them since, I don't know, 82 or something. And they're just 10s. One's
Color
red and one's
coded, right?
blue.
Yeah.
So I know that one's high and
Yeah,
one's
yeah.
low. And that's how I do it. So a
Okay.
little backwards. Early morning math. That's right. That's right. Okay. So
Yeehaw.
you don't know a ton about it. You don't recognize the name, but it certainly interests you. And I'm sure you're probably interested in looking at those papers, seeing what you can figure out, that kind of thing. But you're like, oh, and he also pitches to the druid that it would be nice to be able to catalog some of the unusual creatures and fauna and flora down there, right? And they'd be willing to pay you to do that as well as this scout out. They just want you to be able to check out and see what you think about the town. If it's still viable as a trading hub, maybe make a contact with somebody down there, find out who's running it. It hasn't really been. It's really kind of fell off communication, with everything that's happened. So it's kind of what they're wanting to do.
You're saying you're going to pay me just to write down the birdies and the animals and the trees and the flowers?
Yes, ma'am.
I get paid to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, isn't that just wonderful?
You're getting paid in berries. Yeah.
Now we are sitting a ship.
Not that I care much for money, though. I don't.
Right.
Don't need the golds and the coins and the things that the little kids seem to worry about.
Right. Right. But it's always nice to have a pension, right? Have a backup plan, so to speak.
And
Right.
a Cliff Bar.
And a Cliff Bar. Oh, I had a really good brownie one at GameholeCon. Anyway, sorry.
Squirrel.
And that squirrel. So they've got a ship that you guys are going to sell on. The ship has got approximately 24 men-at-arms. Plus, it's got its own staff, that run the sailors that run the ship. There's a captain and whatnot. Their job is to get you guys safely there, and to protect the boat because they don't want nothing to happen to the boat. The boat costs a lot of money.
We're
It's a nice
going
ship.
on a cruise. We're
You're
going.
going on a
We're
cruise.
going on a cruise.
Going on a
Chuck
cruise.
Mandrich has a question.
Yes.
What exactly do we have to accomplish to receive our rewards? What's the end goal? I mean, you're telling us they want us to go down and explore this region, but what exactly are we doing
They want you
to?
They want you to be able to form a report on what's the status of the merchant's town that was there originally, if it's still operable, who's running it, and possibly even make a contact with who's running it, so that they can establish, trade routes and that kind of thing. But they need to have some information about it.
What was the city name again?
Well, oddly enough, New Enoch, because it was the first Notion town built on that little subcontinent.
New
Okay.
AN.
spell.
I thought New Enoch was a region, not a town.
That's a region above you. That's absolutely right. Think of like cities in the United States and cities in England having the same name. Kind of the same kind of thing happened here.
Okay.
Just like the Spanish,
I was just wondering if there was something specific we were supposed to find out or get or bring back or whatever in order to achieve this reward.
They're going to give you a reward up front.
Oh, I get the dragon gem up front.
No, you get the information. There is no dragon gem. That's just information they're going to give you as a bonus. They're also going to pay you.
Okay.
I
have to find the gem myself.
Well, whatever you want to do, or hire somebody, or just put it on your wall. Whatever you want to do. Yeah, they don't care. They don't care about that. It could be a myth anyway. They don't, whatever. But they knew that you would be interested in something like that. And of course, so you guys have both got a couple things that are interesting to your characters. That's got you a little bit of interest. That's outside of just getting some money, right? And that's basically where it's going to work. You guys are basically going to sail down there and try to find that little town, make contact with them, get your best assessment. If you think it's like, it may even be deserted. They don't know. Rumor has it that boats are still stopping there. It's still a port for a lot of people. But it's just not. And if you'll look right here on the stream,
I'm going to remind you, Chuck, that New Enoch is where I am from. That's where I grew up. That region right by New Enoch. So I'm not.
So that's.
I already kind of know.
Know what?
Oh wait,
I've only been gone from that region for like about 40 years, as far as my history would be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're initially not going to Inklu-Naid?
Well, you're up here right now where the circle's at, right? On the coast.
You said that we needed to the merchant town that's called New Enoch, that's up north on the other side of the Amber Sea.
Right down there is where it's going to be, around that peninsula right there.
Okay.
All right. You guys are up here. You're going to sail over to there. Is what the plan is. And scout the coast. They don't know exactly where it's at. They have maps and stuff where they think it is. But, it's been a long time. So they're not really 100% sure what's going on there. There's been rumors of pirates down that way, coming out of the Williston Sea and off the coast to the north of there. So there's a good chance it may even be taken over by bandits, or it might be deserted, or it might be destroyed. They don't know yet. They're just going off of rumors because it's so far away. And they're only going off of what little information. You guys are going to be the information fact-finding group that goes and actually finds out what's up with what's going on down
there. Okay. Mandrich will agree, but he's going to be very, very tentative. What's the word? In other words, going back to where he knows his home village and everything was sundered and torn, and the area itself is just not a good neighborhood. It's kind of like going back to the ghetto at this point.
Right. So I got you.
Now, it used to be a really nice neighborhood until those people moved in.
Well, Manwich, when people leave an area, the grasses and the leaves and the trees, they just tend to take over and make it all pretty again. It might be nice.
You don't understand, Grandma. Our land was taken over by the Witch Queen and destroyed. There is no green left where I came from.
It
It's
comes
filled
back.
with bad
Believe.
creatures, bad people, and bad juju. There are no good berries growing there.
We'll see. I believe in the power of nature to come back and take what it is belongs to the nature.
And I believe you're going to be severely disappointed.
Well, I got my little notepad. I'm ready to write down all the little thingies that we
Make
find.
sure you write down your feelings when you see the desolation there.
Statler,
Okay.
you're talking my language. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, guys. All right. So
what's a Garrelon?
don't worry about it. It's just nothing. Nothing
What
to see here.
Statler? Tell me. What do I need to know?
I mean, they're not.
It's a mix between a giraffe and a lion.
Oh my God, Pat! You're not supposed to tell. All right. So, anyways, you guys meet with this guy and come to sort of a mutual agreement. They're going to get paid. You'll be protected across the voyage. Blah blah blah. He give you some sort of interest stuff to do. Now, one thing, Mandrich, you will notice. It seems like your compatriot here, Hirloon, has or Hirloin, Herloin.
Lorne.
Herloin. Oh my
Lorne.
God, that's not
just
Herloin.
we need to like come up. Maybe I should change my character's name.
Oh no, it's too much fun. Too much fun.
Why can't we just call you Hera?
Hero. You can call me Hera. That's just fine. Hera.
All right, so Hera, I don't even know what I was
Hera
saying.
there,
I got so tickled over the whole thing. But anyway, so as you guys come to this agreement, he says, "Oh, there's one other thing I need to tell you. We have a
Oh,
guide
what?
to help you in the interior. Someone
A
who
guide?
actually is from there. That's right.
Aside from this little guy,
Hmm.
aside from Manwich now, Manwich.
Yes, he's not really a guide per se. I don't think you've ever been there, have you, Mandrich?
I'm from there.
No, I'm talking about
I lived
Inklu-Naid,
there.
the subcontinent.
Oh, Inklu-Naid. Oh, no, not from there,
Yes.
no.
No,
I thought you were talking about New Anik.
Oh no, I'm talking about. Well, you got to remember, there's a new in the town. All right, so it's a little different. It's not an area; it's just a town. It's just the name of it.
Okay. Well, I would still be semi-familiar with the town, but not.
But anyway, so he says, "Follow me," and you guys go through a door, down some stairs, about 2 flights of stairs. So you're going underground, right? And you come into what looks like a dungeon kind of looking area, right? Lots of cells. And obviously, this is the magistrate/sheriff's office. So there's probably a place they need to keep people who get in trouble and rabble rousers and that kind of stuff, right? So you guys go along for a little farther, and
Do I
there's
smell mushrooms?
there's a big tall guy, a big heavy set looking guard that's kind of leading you guys with a torch and whatnot. And he puts a torch in the sconce, and he unlocks and opens up a cell, and he walks in and he kicks what looks to be a guy laying on the ground with his back to you guys. He kicks and says, "Get up!" And
Oh,
he looks over at the sheriff and he says, "He's awake." And he walks back out and just kind of stands there with his hand on the palm of his sword. And the sheriff kind of walks in a little bit and sort of he's got like a little staff, and he kind of pokes a little bit at it. And he says, "You, thief, you wake up." And the guy will roll over, and he looks like he's got dark hair. He looks elvish, but he's got some odd looking paints on his face, almost like he's camouflaged a little bit, right? And he doesn't seem to be wearing anything but a burlap sack at the time, right? And he just kind of looks over, and he's got a scowl on his face. And he says, "This here is a scout that I've hired for you guys to take with you to the interior of Inklu-Naid to look around. What's your name again?" He'll kick again with his staff. He'll kind of poke you a little bit, Rim.
no need to be so rough there,
Oh,
sir. No
let me
need to
explain
be so
something.
rough.
I need to be honest with you about this. He's got it coming a little bit. He was caught. He was caught now on a ship trying to steal something. Ship ended here in our harbor, and they wanted us to, since we were the first harbor they had come to, and this is how we found out about the whole Inklu-Naid thing, that the town down there actually still seems to be occupied. They had said they had been there. They found this guy on their ship trying to steal something. So they wanted me to punish him. But I'm pretty brilliant. I realized that we needed a guide for Inklu-Naid, right? Once we realized we wanted to go down there and see about setting up a trade route, and here he is. So I've offered this fellow here. What was your name again? It doesn't matter. I offered him his life, basically. If he will escort you back to where he's from, he can be free. And if he has any pointers, he can give you some pointers, whatnot. Yeah.
So,
what do you think?
So we're
like a good plan?
so we're to trust a thief.
You're
but
not
don't
Been
worry.
promised freedom.
He's perfectly safe. You'll be on a ship with men at arms. What could he do other than hop off and
I
swim
want
and
to
die?
teach
In
him
the
And as
how
sea?
soon
to
as we
help
hit
him
ground,
up.
he's gonna run away.
Come on up. Get rise up. Get on your feet. I'm trying to help him up.
She kind of moves in between y'all, like,
pushing.
and he backs up with his staff.
Yes.
And he's like, he kind of looks a little bit, and he's like, whatever. So, Raymond, you kind of come set up, I guess, and look around and just kindly describe yourself again, Hira.
Old, she's old.
I am
Old.
I'm very dark skinned. My hair is kind of ropey and mostly purple, but also lots of gray because I'm a bit old. And I may or may not have a pleasant odor about me.
Oh,
Because of the birds.
well,
And,
now
you
I don't know.
I don't
I don't necessarily know whether or not he would care from where he's from. I don't think he lives very
right. So I'm little. I'm like
interesting.
4'3".
Oh,
And I'm just bending over to help him up and shooing you away, nasty guards. They're always so mean to people.
and he don't. Yeah, and you've never seen an elf quite like this before, Hira. Tall, decently built, but wearing some unusual looking paints on his face. And he just looks. You've seen wood elves, you've seen mist elves, and you know of them, but you've never seen this exotic looking kind of elf before. He just looks like he would blend right away into trees and such. Very cool.
What
You
kind
think?
of elf? What kind of elf are
Mandridge,
you?
Mandridge, you have to find out.
He's
He's
not
not
even.
going to just tell you.
Yeah, he's not
He's
even
not
said his
conscious
name
yet.
yet. He's not said nothing.
Mandridge is going to go stand next to the guard and go like,
Does he
all
stand up?
elves
How
emit
tall is
such
he?
foul odors. You're muted.
No, I'm not muted.
Oh,
It's
okay. I
nothing.
didn't.
I'm just like, I don't know how tall I am. I have not
Oh,
looked into
sorry.
the heights.
He doesn't
Well,
seem very
clearly you're taller
forthcoming.
than me. Oh,
He doesn't seem very forthcoming. And about that time, the sheriff will say, "All right, that's enough. We'll let you guys talk again later. We need to take care of a few things." So they usher you out and they shut the door and they leave him in the darkness.
who was that boy?
Mandridge is like, I got a bad feeling about this.
Okay.
And y'all leave him be. He's
Oh.
gone.
Oh, he went stealthy.
Oh.
He did. All right. So you guys will
Thanks for joining us, Raymond. See you next week.
anyway. So you guys leave, you go upstairs and they tell you they need to get things prepped up. And they bring you into a room. This room is a long hall. It's got a long table in it, nice big fireplace at the end. And they basically tell you can make yourselves comfortable here. There are 3 rooms adjacent to this. You can pick one of those for a bedroom if you like. And you're going to stay here for a couple days while they get the ship prepped. At some point, while you guys are kind of looking around, they're moving around and you're bringing stuff in and whatnot. In comes your friend again. And they're dragging him in and they drop him down in a chair and they leave him. He doesn't seem to be bound or anything now.
Why are you all so mean to him?
But
What
you
did
get
he ever do to you?
you get the impression that they've told him basically if he tries to wander off or whatever, they'll kill him. Well, because he's reported as being a thief. They're being gracious about letting him keep his life. In this town, they don't put up with that kind of thing.
What's thieving anyway? I mean,
Tracy.
nothing really belongs to us.
He's a thief. He's not a rogue thief. He
Nothing
has no
really.
honor.
There
He
are
makes
no
his
real
living stealing from
belongings.
others.
Now he's sitting here and y'all talk about all this, right? He's not said a word. He's just watching you guys. Got a little bit of a glare on his face. I'm not sure. You can, if anytime you feel like you want to engage Rim and have at it, but it's whatever.
Can you talk? Can you talk? Are you okay?
I'm just gonna sit there. Like, my character is gonna be so annoyed because he got locked up and all. So
Yeah, he doesn't even know where he's at. This is not what he's used to.
Can
Door
I
will
use
open.
prestidigitation to clean him up a little bit?
You can. They'll come in, actually. That big guard will come back in and drop a big bag at his feet and say, there, put some clothes on, and he'll leave again. And inside there, Rim, you're going to find your equipment and stuff they kept for you.
Okay.
yep, I'll put it on.
Okay, so he's going to strip down right in front of a grandmother elf there and just.
Well, yeah. I mean, why not? What's the big deal?
My, how tall you are.
I don't know, Remen. Tell us, is there a big deal?
Hey, I mean,
how tall are you, Rim? Go ahead and describe your character to him now.
I don't know how tall I am. I have not looked into that stuff.
Oh.
Basically, I am a wood elf.
Roll
Inklu-Naid.
roll me a 6-sided and a 12-sided. Actually, roll me a
6 and 12?
4-sided and a 6-sided. 4-sided and a 12-sided.
4 and 12. All right.
Yeah.
Four on the 4 and a 2 on the 12.
A 2, so you're 6'2". There you go. How you like that? The magic of math.
Wow.
Great.
Wow.
Yeah, I told you he's really tall. He's very skinny, very tall, well built. You know, yeah.
I didn't know elves came that big.
Well, just because your people are small doesn't mean everyone is. Said the 3-foot tall guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, what?
But I'm not shocked by a tall person.
No. I get it. Sure.
Everybody's tall to me.
So
Like,
you'll
did
you'll
not
get
call that
dressed. You guys have any questions for him or anything?
Just honey, what's your name? What do we
Okay.
call you?
Nope, he's not gonna say anything.
Are blink twice if you're in trouble.
Now, what are you speaking to him in?
Common?
All right, that'll work. I think he speaks common. So, just curious.
That's
I was
pretty
curious
good.
if you were doing some other
like-
weird language.
You know what? I'm glad
Now-
you said that because
the
I
common-
could in
I will
in
say this
Elvish-
much. I will say this much. In common, it's very broken for him. He understands common, but he has a hard time saying it because it's just not used down there where they're at.
Okay,
Not that
so
much.
in Elven, I'll just
That-
look at him.
That he understands.
I'll look at him and be like, "Honey, you're safe with us. You're safe with me. It's gonna be okay."
I mean, he's not gonna trust anyone.
Mandrich is just gonna look at him too. Is like, look, lad, none of us are happy about any of this, but we're supposed to work together. So it's best if we start off on the right foot, at least, maybe before we make judgment calls.
No, you're like, he's literally not having it.
Yeah, this is gonna be a long trip. Well, is the guard? I mean, he's dressed now. He's not talking. Mandrich is just going to say, like, "Oh, I guess we're done in here. Where do we go next?"
Well, they'll bring you guys supper. They're going to let you stay in here. Like I said, it's going to take a couple of days. So you guys are going to stay in this little area right here. They've got rooms for you. They'll bring you meals. If you need to go out into town to buy anything, you can. You will be escorted, though, because they are concerned.
We will be what? Escorted. Oh.
Yeah, because they don't want
Not-
nothing
not
happening to you.
exported.
No. But you do find it
I think
strange when you guys do go out that they are escorting you, and he tells you that they just want to make sure you're protected because they're worried someone's going to get wind of their plans, some of the other merchants, right? And they want to make sure that nothing interrupts it or whatever. But you know, when you guys are out, the three of you, you get the feeling that, I mean, sure, that's a great idea. It's fantastic. They're going to protect you and all this. But there's a few times the way that the guards act, they don't really say anything directly or anything, but you just get the feeling that you don't know sometimes whether or not they're there to protect you or if they're there to watch you. You know what I'm saying? It's just a weird
Oh.
vibe you get.
One thing you guys might notice on my character is that he doesn't have your usual weapons.
He's
Because
not carrying like a sword and a dagger and all that stuff.
Did they give him? Did they give him
he's-
weapons or just his clothes?
No, he's got all his weapons and stuff. He's got all his equipment.
So
Oh, okay.
what you will notice is that he will have bone daggers, and he has a blowpipe.
Oh, he floats that way, does he?
He does. And he's
I don't
not
know that
really
I
much
would
for
be, that I
conversation.
would be taken. I don't know that I'd be taken aback by the bone daggers, just because
Yeah.
you know nature provides, and it's a good use of something that
Now,
it's.
him being
I don't think that would
6'2",
have been
how
weird.
big are these daggers?
It's a fair.
Should be just normal
question.
size.
I mean, like Jim Bowie type daggers, Crocodile Dundee style daggers, you know, Boy Scout daggers.
I mean, they would. I mean, they would not be that big, because I need them to be big enough to still maneuver.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, at 6'2",
Mm-hmm.
a dagger to you would be like a short sword to me.
I mean, if
If
you're
I
a
showed you-
gnome, it's
Because if I
definitely.
showed you my dagger, you wouldn't be impressed.
No, yeah, no, they like, I mean, they are a fair size. Like,
So basically,
you'll-
Crocodile
you'll-
Dundee, that's not a
you'll-
knife. Here's a knife, right?
yeah, but yeah, basically, like
Okay,
you'll
alright.
you'll see that they are daggers, but because they are not as big as a normal sword.
Okay, I'm just trying to get a feel of it.
Don't touch
Because
his
that would also
daggers.
take a rather large creature to make a dagger that size from a bone. That's why I was asking.
It does.
Now, is there anything you guys need to purchase from town while you're here?
Well,
know,
I
Chuck,
need
you
I
tell
need
us.
I need
gotta-
a
I
little
gotta-
leather journal.
You guys
I need
talk
a
for a second. I
couple.
got to make a phone call. Right back.
Gotta make a phone call. Remen, I'm looking at you. I'm like, honey, are you hungry? Do you need some proper food? I probably have something in one of my
I have a berry.
pockets in here, or my sleeves. I think I got. Are you hungry? Do you need some food? Yeah, I'll conjure up a good berry, little handful of good berries. Be like, here, baby, eat these. These are good for you. These are tasty. They'll make you feel right as rain. And I'll hand you my handful of good berries, all of them, even though you only need one
You'll
a
just see
day.
him like look very irritated. Like, because he's just not like he is not
give
used
him
to
his-
cities.
Give him his space, lass. Let him calm down from being out of the prison for a while first. Hopefully he'll see that we're no threat to him, and we'll open up a hat at least enough till we can learn his name.
Oh, I can cast charm person.
No, casting spells is very, very bad when
Makes
somebody
one
doesn't trust you to begin with. That's like
Well,
trying to force him to be
you,
friends.
You nibble on those berries, and I'll leave you be. It's just like how
He never
those
said he took the
badgers.
berries. He just said he stared at you.
I set them down in front of him.
Okay.
It's like those badgers. Sometimes you just gotta
Still
give 'em a
doesn't mean
little
I took
space.
him.
Mandrich goes over and grabs a berry and pops it in his mouth and starts chewing. Walks back over.
Well, that wasn't for you. It's fine. It's fine. Everybody, every little creature of the woods needs to eat.
Is that a little joke?
So yeah, I'm
Order
just gonna.
pizza.
I'm
Sorry.
treating Remen like a ferocious little badger, and sometimes they need to. I just
I
gave him a
know.
little food. I gave him some good
Oh,
berries.
he probably's like, what the hell? Who is this person? In his mind, he's thinking, what is happening?
Manwich came and took one of them. As far as shopping, she's taking it seriously to catalog the creatures and the flora and the fauna.
Venture in and find
I'm
out.
gonna need a couple of journals,
Now,
nice little journals.
okay. Anything else you guys need? Are you good? Other than that,
I mean, well, I'm assuming they're supplying food and rations and things like that, right?
yep.
And none of my spells that I know of require a whole lot of.
Yeah. I didn't. Did you guys look over the house rules at all? Good. So,
Oh yes,
I mean, so for
I
spells,
have
I
them
mean,
up.
and Pat may
kinda.
have seen them, I don't know, but it's real simple with me. If it says it requires, like I say, for example, let's say you cast a spell and it says, oh, you got to have a 100 gold piece diamond. So what I do is I don't track all that, but you need to have the 100 gold pieces available because I will ask for it on payment of casting of spell. Does that make sense? But I'm not going to manage it.
Mhm.
We just do it. We just do it very
Yeah,
now. If
no.
it doesn't have like any real expensive, like for example, sleep requires crickets, I don't care about all that. When I was younger, sure, we would have them drown in the river and you wouldn't be able to cast your spell, but I don't do any of that much anymore. Because I'm always running one shots and
Yeah,
short games
no,
and
no.
stuff.
Like I'm saying, that's all. Like say most of the spells available to wizards aren't really
Right.
ornate or whatever.
Now,
Intricate.
and I think the only common spell that I don't typically allow people to use is identify. I don't like that spell at all. I think I would much rather have people experiment and learn and use their skills. Like for example, you're a wizard, right? And I think you've got Ars Magica, so you should be able to determine some things that way, right? Without this casting a spell. I mean, I don't mind it if it's like a real powerful item and someone's trying to use it like some sort of way to argue or whatever. But it got to the point there in D&D that it just became the spell. That, oh, we got magical items. I'm just gonna cast identify. Boom. I like to have too much fun with them, So what few I give out. So you guys will journey around town, do some shopping, come back. You'll wait another day. And during this time, I'm sure conversation will come up about the fact that the druid is anxious to catalog all these unusual fauna and flora that you're going to find down in this place where you're from, Finch. But something's going to catch you interesting is Mandrich's tale, because he keeps talking about this heart of the dragon. And finally, I don't know. You've probably not warmed to him yet, but I'm sure at this point you're listening to every word that comes out of their mouths, and you realize that he is looking for some sort of
gem.
gem, and you can recollect a tale of something like that. You've not told him this yet, but you do have a faint recollection of it, and you remember growing up as a kid. It was one of the things that a story that was in your village about this fellow who was not of the jungle. That's what he was called. He was a man or a creature. No one was really sure if he was a man or not. He appeared to look like a man, but he was not from the jungle. He was from far away with stark white skin, almost like he was
Even the
dead.
hunter.
Ice blue eyes. But he came to the jungle hunting for the great dragon heart. And the reason why it's a tale in your village is he took 6 men with him from the village. He paid them well with gems and some gold and some real rare looking tools made out of metals they'd never seen before. Basically stuff that was useful with a little bit of decorative, but not much because you guys are not really like materialistic type of folk. But some things. Anyway, he took those 6 men with him to help him. He was going to this place, some sort of, it was known as the Eye of Farn. The Eye of Farn. Now, the Eye of Farn is just rumored to be a volcano, right? But an unnatural one, whereas most volcanoes are peaked up. This one literally, at some point in time, got shuffled down below the earth. And so the actual caldera and cone that comes up out of it is not very that tall. It's almost like it's a sunken volcano, right? It's surrounded by a mountain scape around it. And when one crosses over the mountainscape and looks down, it looks like a big smoking, reddish looking eye in the center of where it's at. Anyway, that's what you've known from growing up, from hearing about it. They went off to find this Eye of Farn, and they never returned. And sadly enough, those 6 families suffered for it. So they don't talk about it as in the legendary, wonderful story. They talk about it like we don't trust outsiders anymore. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. You've never really put a lot of stock into it, but then here's this Mandrich guy who's this stranger. This you you you're not he's a dwarf, but he doesn't look like any dwarf you've ever seen before. I'm sorry. What? Oh, gnome. I'm sorry. So let me scratch that. You've never seen nothing like this before in your life. You look at that and you're like, what is this creature?
I'm out.
Small, smaller than you. And this other one over here is female, and she's got like rats and stuff crawling around in her hair, or birds or whatever. You just very bizarre. And then, of course, when you finally go outside, you see wagons moving around, people walking around, civilization. You're just blown away by all this because you've never seen anything like this before. But you keep it all to yourself. But when he finally mentions and you hear the words "the dragon heart" come out of his mouth, you immediately remember that and you start thinking about it, and you're like, "Wait, maybe that legend was real." Now of course, you don't say anything to them at the time, but it starts making you think about it. Now you're thinking, "This is rather interesting." Anyways, you guys will get ready, and they're going to tell you that the ship's going to sail the next day to get lots of rest. They've got a stock now. They've got all the guards and stuff in place. Everything's ready to go. You guys will be leaving out early in the morning and during the dark. For whatever reason, they want the ship to leave at about 3 a.m. with just the moonlight to guide it out of the harbor. Yeah, I know, Wolf. That's the way it'll be.
Just to
Farm,
clear
not
up the
farm.
air.
Oh, I see.
Remen, even though I'm a gnome and I'm short, and Chuck just kind of like basically describes me as just a little short human being, Mandrich is very attractive as a male. Okay, I mean, and he knows it. He plays on it. So his hair is very slicked back. He's very well groomed.
He's definitely role playing.
Yeah, he is, because I'm an ugly little redneck. But anyway, but his air is he's not like a egotistical popinjay. He just knows he's attractive, and so he just plays to that. So when Chuck just says, "Well, yeah, you see some little short dude over there," even though he's a little gnome, he's a well-groomed gnome. Okay, so for the rest of the people too, I'm not just playing some little dirt gnome. Mandrich, the man witch calls himself man witch for a reason.
For my character, it wouldn't matter because
I know, but I'm just letting you know that when you see him, he looks cleaner and more better kept than most of the people you probably run into. So to you, he would seem like a little popinjay, little egotistical thing, but he's not.
And guys, let's take a 5-minute break. We're normally take a 10 or 15 minute for lunch, but today we're going to be playing until about 12, and we're already 2 hours in. Got a late start and went up, but I want to let's take a 5-minute break real quick, and then we'll delve into this second part here.
Groovy.
All right. So we'll be right back, everybody. I really appreciate you so much. And let's see. I think I will put on. We'll put on a little video for you guys to watch. We'll watch that old video of Steve. That's kind of cool. And yeah,
don't forget the shipping video. I love that video.
No, which one?
The box.
Oh yeah, that's cute, isn't it? But that's only like 20 seconds, so unfortunately that will not be on enough time. Run it in Stuckies and load up on candy. That's right, kids.
Just keep it on a loop, Chuck.
Loop over and over, just the box.
No.
I mean,
it's like
I'm
the
sorely
whole
tempted to do that. It would be funny.
Use it as a this. Use it. It's a much longer video because Jingo plays it.
It's not that long.
Stream.
It's actually, if you want to know the actual truth, it is.
Okay, you're birding your 5 minutes.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, the package. It's 57 seconds long.
That's
if you want
it.
exacts.
Wow,
That's
okay.
it. Yeah. But we'll be back, and we might play it when we come back in. All right, for sure. So we'll be right back, everybody. Oh, it's that one. Yeah, I forgot about that.
core of what we do is Castles and Crusades. We used to be a D20 publisher. We shifted all of that to CNC once Castles and Crusades came out. So we don't. I think we've done one D20 book in the last 2 years, and we won't be doing any more. We won't be doing 4th edition products. So Castles and Crusades is our core product. The Crusaders a magazine we do. We've done fiction products under the Chenault and Gray bandwagon. Then we've done some of Gary Gygax's properties, the Gygaxian Fantasy World series and Legendary Adventures. We just released Gourd by Gary Gygax. And then on the other side of the coin, we are in the process of launching a series of games that are related to the Siege engine, but different games, the Star Siege. And then Davis has, for a long time, wanted to do just games, sheer board games. He's got Cleaver the Pit that we worked on for years. So we're just kind of branching in that direction. But the core is Castles and Crusades, without a doubt. You can try anything. And you don't have to open a book. You just have to say, I swim the river. And the CK is going to try to figure out quickly whether you can swim or not, and whether the river's current is too hard or whatever, and then you just make your dexterity check or strength check or whatever the CK wants it to be. The Siege engine is the main mechanic that drives Castles and Crusades. Basically, you have your 6 attributes and your base score to succeed at anything you're trying to do, any skill or whatever. It's 12 or 18. And its primary attribute, your base score is a 12. The secondary attribute, it's an 18. You add your level to it, you add your attribute bonus, and the Castle Keeper is going to adjust it by whatever difficulty he wants to have on there. That's Siege engine. That's how you resolve all non-combat conflict is resolved that easily. And I think when people play it, they're kind of introduced to the ease of play, which is the germ of the game's success. And then once they play it a couple of times, I think that they get kind of addicted. We play tested the basic set, part of the basic set not too long ago with some neighborhood kids. And I was stunned at how much joy they got out of the game. They'd never heard of this. They'd never heard of tabletop role-playing games. They'd never heard of any of this sit down with your buddies and roll dice killing each other. They were just jumping over themselves, having a ball. And it hit me then that there's actually a whole demographic that we aren't even marketing to. Everybody says, oh, the video game has stolen our players. Well, that's actually not true. We're just not marketing it to them because they don't even know we're out there. And there's a good chance that they like hanging out with their friends. They're going to keep playing. It's like I said earlier, when we started this entire conversation, I played Dungeons and Dragons as a kid. But I collected comic books. I was on skateboards. I rode my bicycle. I climbed. I spit. I did all that. I played Army Man. I did it all. Dungeons and Dragons was a part of it. It doesn't have to be the only thing you do. So there's no reason that kids who are playing online role-playing games can't stop on a Saturday afternoon and play some Castles and Crusades or something. There's no doubt Gary Gygax is my mentor. I mean, he became this kind of font that I would tap whenever I would need to, and he was always so open with information that I don't know, he taught me a whole lot of stuff. He taught me a good way he taught me the importance of dealing with people, how to deal with people. I've always been good with folks, but he kind of taught me that the fans are the number one thing to any of these endeavors. I mean, we make these games, we might think this, or we might want to market this, or we might want to price it or here, or whatever that we're doing, but to Gary, and always to Gary, the absolute most important thing to him were the games. One of the most, heart-rending thing, I think, that has come out of his passing. In 2017.
Well, I'm on audio. Welcome, Raiders. Good to see everybody.
Sit with love.
Jay, you ready? Right when we took a break. Gee, yeah, that's good.
The best. I love this
Yep.
box. It's more than a box. Not recommended.
What does it mean?
Oh, it's moving.
Doing as it should.
Everybody, once isn't enough. Look at these parts.
Some of those planets for this set were faster. Those games were such good
Trollord Games. Join the fray.
Arrive in about in the next hour. So
Join the fray.
Let me get you guys back on camera. I had to cut it off because the video is so tiny. There we go.
my mom
Wait.
was like, "Order some pens for me."
There we
Okay.
go. Yeah,
Is this your
pop back up.
Elvish
There we go.
mom? She
Slow.
wants pants?
No.
All right. Thanks for the raid, Jay. It was awesome. Anybody who's watching this that doesn't know Lord Samba, and I don't think there's very many that know that, should go over and
Turtle,
see
turtle.
him. Go give him a.
Hashtag raffle or whatever.
That's right.
Right,
He
2-point raffles. And
I can't remember.
Jay's a good friend of ours. We sponsor him, and he's writing actually a whole box set for our company, which is going to be really exciting to have that released. I think it's going to be released, what, Jay, in a couple of weeks? No, I'm joking. Next year, we hope, but we'll see. Hey, Troy, how you doing? Savage is here. True Chef. There's a bunch of, all the regulars are in here. Cool. There's a new fella, Major Mealy. Nice to meet you. Good to see you. Ruin Golf Course. Oh, yeah, everybody rolled in
Tell
here.
them
Well,
about
there's a
the
bunch
raffle.
of you in here. Oh, yeah, we've got a raffle going on. So if you haven't ever followed us, please follow us. Exclamation point raffle. We're giving away two $10 codes, just like Jay was giving away earlier on his stream. Same stuff. That's right, Baboonsky. Yeah, my old alias. My old alias is still creeping around. Still. Anyways, let me.
You
put that
keep
right
what
there.
works.
Keep what works. Well, the problem was it was getting to a point where I was working so much for TLG that people, they didn't recognize the name. So I learned that I probably needed to, slowly shift myself over. That makes sense. So, but for you guys that are new to our channel, we're Troll Lord Games. We make fun. We make games like Castles Crusades, Amazing Adventures, Victorious, Harvesters, and go on. But and we're running our first session. This is session 1. We had session 0. We worked on characters. This is session 1. And the folks are getting ready to leave the main continent and travel south to a subcontinent known as Inklu-Naid, which is a jungly kind of area, right? And yeah, that's what we do. I run a game on Saturdays here, every Saturday, and then we have one on every Sunday. I think they're off this Sunday, but there are 2 games on Saturday, and there's some other stuff during the week. We're trying to get to where we've got games all the time on here, but it's coming along. It just takes a while. I think Ruby's going to run a game for us eventually, and I've got a couple other things coming on. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Biggie? How you doing? Still working on the house. I got you, buddy. I got you. Anyways, you guys were waiting to leave on this ship to go south to Inklu-Naid, and 2:30 in the morning, you're woken up, and you get up, get yourselves ready, splash some water on your face, and you are taken down to the docks where everybody is, and you're going to basically get on this ship and go away. So you guys come down to the docks. What's that?
Go away.
I missed it. Is there something funny?
He's going to basically get on the ship and go away. Oh,
Yeah, you go away pretty much into
That's
the ocean.
descriptive.
But what's interesting about it is Finch, his character, Remon's character. When you guys went out to town, you hadn't come down in the dock district, and when you do, he's blown away. He's never seen anything like this before. There's docks lined up with giant, massive sailing ships lined up, people loading cargo, people getting on boats. There's, seagulls in the air. It's very lively. And where he's from, if you go to the ocean, actually, technically, I don't think he's ever actually been to the ocean. But if you had been to the ocean, it would just be beach. There's not really like buildings down there or streets, that kind of stuff. So it's pretty exciting place. Is the music too loud, or is it loud enough for everybody? How's that sound?
Good.
Good?
Fine for me. I hear the birds.
All right. How about stream?
Look
I
at
can never
the
tell.
road.
I mute stream, so I don't.
Oh, I mean them. I'm asking them.
There's-
I'm sorry. I should say that. Viewers.
There's sound effects.
There's sound effects, I should say. No music, per se. Right? What music?
Oh.
I
Okay.
guess they
It's
don't
my
hear
I
it.
guess I can
little
hear
birdie,
seagulls.
my little birdie friend.
I guess they don't hear it
Honey,
then.
come
Oh, they hear birds. Yeah. That might be a little better right there. We'll see. But you guys will get on this this boat, so to speak. And I'm trying to see here. Which one is which? Okay. You guys will leave Conrad City and head out into the ocean. They told you they don't know how long it's going to be. You expect it's going to be several months. You're going to be crossing the Amber Sea. The Amber Sea is a little dangerous. It's known for its storms, so they're going to try to kind of go around it or on the edge of it, I guess it would be, right? For you guys. And boat will take off and sail away, and for probably the first couple of weeks, you're still going to be running across regular ships that you'll see coming and going in the shipping lanes. But eventually, you guys are going to turn south and start heading away from the continent, trying to skirt the Amber Sea and head towards the main continent down. You will find yourselves at some point in time just basically in just your regular open ocean. It's kind of doing your thing. Everybody give me con checks, please. Now, you guys all play CNC. I think you know how they work. You just add your level and your con bonus. You roll.
You think I know?
It's already gone south.
Mm.
Okay, con.
Absolutely.
So it's roll a
Steve,
D20,
he's even got like currents
roll
mapped out, I think.
it on my
13.
watch.
13?
Yep.
8.
Is that a prime
11.
or non-prime?
Non-prime.
Non-prime.
Oh.
13 non-prime for me.
We
Okay.
get 2 primes, right? Why do I only have 1 marked?
Because you suck!
Because
No,
you're
I'm
probably-
joking. I'm joking.
I think you said you wanted one in your beauty.
Yes.
Oh, you're right. Beauty is my prime. You're right. Thank
Oh,
you.
Wow.
Yeah, good catch.
That must be a really, really low prime.
It doesn't matter. It
She's like,
means 12. It means you got to make it 12. So,
You sure age isn't your prime?
Oh no, trust me. Chuck normally does it a little bit different.
I got an
13
11 on that.
non-prime.
11? Wow, y'all's rolls are
11.
stellar. Okay, good. So,
Hey,
none of
I'm
your-
not used to being on the water. I
You're
live
not.
in the woods with the
You-
with the firm foundations of the dirts and the trees, and this is just
So you have become, all three get seasick. Absolutely. So you spend a lot of time in your cabin throwing up. This is horrible experience. At some point along the way, the wind will start to pick up, and out in the sea, of course, comes things like storms and whatnot. How's that sound? Super loud? Not loud enough?
it's good for me. Stream.
Stream? Y'all let us know in stream if it's too loud or not loud enough. I don't ever want to cover up all the players, but it's hard to tell. But, Anyway, the storm will get worse, and of course, eventually you're going to end up having some rain start falling down, more thunder. You guys go to your rooms as the storm increases and the boat starts to shift back and forth. Now, you've got 2 smaller boats that escort you out so far, but once you guys go into the open ocean, they had turned back. Now it's just this one large ship that you're on, right? Like I said, you've got, I think, a couple dozen men at arms on the ship, as well as sailors and folk. So it's got quite a few people on it. They tend to you guys. There's other people that get sick, of course. Even sailors get sick on boats sometimes. But for a majority of this storm, you guys stay in your rooms, right? Doing your thing.
I love a good natural shower, but oh God, if
Right.
this thing would.
Chuck, I love the thing that your shirt is doing.
My shirt is doing?
Yeah.
What's the shirt doing?
So if you're right, like.
Oh,
if
it's
you like
changing
that,
colors.
It's like, yeah, if you like that it's like a really bright blue.
Look at
And now
that.
you're not
Yeah, what is
purple.
that?
Now you're
That is
turquoise. Now you're
cool.
purple.
I don't know what that is. I have no idea.
Okay,
That's
let's
kinda
get on
cool.
to combat.
Yeah.
Quick, everyone, order your color-changing Castles and Crusades. t-shirts
Castles and
now,
Crusades.
as modeled by.
All right, so Finch, do me a favor. Give me your wisdom score, please.
My
3.
wisdom?
That's
Yeah.
a 3.
18 plus 3.
Finch.
Wisdom is 15.
Is that a prime?
You're not a Finch, Tracy.
Okay. And let's see. Tracy, what is your character, Herlorn? What is Hera? What is her wisdom?
18 plus 3.
That's a prime, yes? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And then, of course, the troublemaker wizard. What is your wisdom, sir?
My wisdom is.
Not a check. Just want to know what your wisdom score is.
Oh, 18. Sorry.
18,
And
non-prime.
it is not my prime.
It's all right. It's a good number. It's a good score. All right. So, lightning's coming down. You know, you guys are in this horrendous storm. It's been going on, that seems like, for a day or two now. And you're just sick that you're just not whatever, blah, blah, blah. And let's do this. Let's everybody give me a wisdom check now that I've got your scores down here. Except for you, Druid. I need the other two to roll checks. You don't have to.
18, 21, 24.
24? Prime? That's non-prime, actually.
No.
How about you,
No,
Finch?
non-prime.
6.
6. All right. You're a heavy sleeper. All right. So, Mandrich. Well, actually, we're going to switch to Hera. Hera, you managed to get yourself under control, and you're kind of sitting on the edge of your bed. The storm's still wailing outside. You're sitting there in the boats, just turning around, whatnot. And you're just like, gosh. And you know, it just occurs to you, being how Hera is, you're thinking to yourself, you know what? Maybe I should talk to the captain. Surely they can take us somewhere that's not as rough as this. So you go to the door and open the door up. Now it's night, all right? As soon as the door opens and you look out there, thunder just comes barreling down, place lights up, and you come out on the deck and you're kind of standing there and you see something unusual. One of the sailors goes past you. He's sliding on the floor on the deck of the ship, just kind of moving across. The deck of the ship's got water all over it from the rain, and he's just kind of laying there and blood pouring out of the side of his face. Looks like part of his face has been cut open. He just slides past you. And you see this, and you're like, what? And you look around, you start noticing you don't see a lot of anybody. Look around some more, and you see what appears to be, at the front of the ship, a dark-looking something moving, but there's not, the lightning hasn't struck yet, so it's very dark out with all this rain pouring down. But something large.
I have twilight vision, so I probably.
The problem is there's no sun here, right? The moon is covered up, so it's pretty dark out here. But you're getting flashes of light. When the lightning comes again, you don't see what it was. It's moved away. But as you start to step out on the deck even more, you start seeing more dead bodies. People are laying all over the place, cut apart, right? The first thing that crosses your mind is, wait, what about that guy that we rode with here? Did he kill these people? No, surely not him. You know the wizard wouldn't do it, right? So you kind of really freaked out about all this. It's like, what is going on? And
Rude.
it occurs to you, maybe you should go and get your compatriots, you know, and tell them what's going on. Because you call out once, but the wind just carries your voice away. And you realize now you're not going to really, you can scream all you want, but it's so loud, and the thunder's going off and on, and the rain's pouring down, and you're kind of, I mean, you've been in storms before, but not on an ocean. You don't like this, you know? So all you have to do is just step back in and go down the hall to where. So the first door you come to is the wizard. He's snoozing away. Actually, he's not awake. When you walk in the door, Mandra's just sitting on the edge of the bed. And he's wide awake. He just kind of looks at you, and he has this look on his face like he kind of knew something was wrong. What do you tell him?
Dead. They're all dead. Everybody, there's no sailors. They're dead. They're all dead.
So calm down. What are you talking about, lad?
There's
what?
blood everywhere. And
What did you do?
There's no time for your shenanigans. We need to. We're just out in this massive storm, and this boat is going near everywhere, and I don't see a living soul outside of this room.
Manders hops off the bed and kind of, well, I mean, being closer to the deck than most people, he's not going to sway too much, but and he's going to go out in the hallway and look up and down, and I'm assuming he can tell that what she's saying is true. It's not, she's just like not having a druid nightmare or something.
Now, do you go out with him, or do you go with him, Hera?
I'm looking for our scout. I'm banging on his door. Scout,
Okay.
get up!
All right.
Danger!
So the wizard leaves you
He
there.
only wakes up
Is that
when you
okay?
poke him with a stick.
So you bang on the door. You bang on the door and you don't get an answer. So you go to try the door and it's locked. You try to bust in, or are you going to go with the wizard?
Yeah, bust in.
No.
We might die. And
Oh, this
we
is
don't
great.
want to be locked in a room in case this ship
So,
goes down. We might
Are
die.
you
Stranger
going with?
danger.
Are you going to leave her there, or are you going to go? Are you going out on the
No,
deck yourself?
I mean, I hear her banging on the door, and and I'm like,
You
I'm
turn
telling
around,
her,
you're like, what are you
he only
doing?
wakes up when you poke her with a stick, or poke him with a stick, and the door's locked, and he's just gonna stand back a second, and he's gonna cast open.
All right. And when you get you cast the open spell, you open the door up, right? There's no one in here. The bed is empty.
Look under the bed.
How big's the room? Is it? Whoops.
It's like a normal cabin.
So there's like no closets, no trunks, anything for him to be hiding behind.
No. No, not at all.
Where'd he go?
This isn't good.
It's not.
I saw a big black thing, but it was like big, like it was Chuck. It was big, like the size of the front of the ship.
You saw something, that's for sure.
I thought it was like a giant squid or bird. I don't something big out there. I don't know.
Yep, not gonna find out being down here. He's gonna grab his staff and start edging up toward the stairs.
Okay. All right. So you guys, you go up the stairs and go back out onto the deck.
Yep.
When you get
Well, cautiously, we're not just gonna run up there.
No, I got you. As soon as you open the door, there is a loud clash of thunder that comes down, illuminates the whole place, and you see something different from what she described. You do see dead bodies, but now they seem to be hanging from all of the nets and rigging, as if someone's taken the time to hang dead bodies. There's several of them hanging down, and those appear to be some of the men at arms and some of the sailors, occupants of the ship. And they're all just hanging down, swinging back and forth. The boat just seems to be crazy. You step out a little further in the rain, you glance back up, and there's no one at the wheel. The wheel's just spinning on the boat behind you. As you look up and see that, it's just turning.
And that's all we see are just bodies and the wheel spinning, right?
That's right. No one moving around, nothing.
Does Finch look like any of the bodies?
Does not. And then another clap of thunder hits, lightning smashes into the boat. One of the masts gets blown apart at the top, chunks of wood fall down, and he starts leaning. And you're just like, oh,
good.
shit. You know what I mean? No, you're not. It's not good at all. You'll start to notice that the waves now start to pile up over the ship. Water's coming over it. And it seems to be sitting a little lower in the water than earlier.
Can we see lifeboats? Were there lifeboats on this ship?
There was actually 12 of them.
Okay. Wow.
Well-
How big is this damn ship?
It's big. It's got about 40 people on it. Pretty good size.
Not
Yeah.
not anymore, but
Not anymore.
anyway.
Yeah.
Uh,
You will find that there
Manders
are
is
no
gonna-
boats. There are no boats. They're all gone. There is
wait,
one.
What?
There is one boat left on the side of it, but it's hanging. Looks as if someone had damaged it and busted it, but got interrupted. So there's still part of a small boat off the side, kind of tangled in the rigging that would lower it down into the water. This is kind of banging on against the boat. Boom, 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 boom.
Manders is gonna turn to Hira and go like, "Lass, if you can, run down and grab as much of our gear as you can. I'm gonna try to save this last boat. We may have to abandon ship."
Oh, the rear end of it's gone. It's just the front end of the boat that's slamming against
Well,
it.
you didn't say that.
Yeah, it's damaged beyond use,
All right.
unfortunately.
Never mind. Say your farewells to your gods, and we'll be there soon. And he runs up. He runs up to the wheel, and how fast is it spinning?
Oh, it's just doing whatever it wants to do now at this point. You reach for it once, and you're like,
it can only spin so many times before the rudder sticks to one. That's what I'm saying. So is it really still just spinning loosely, or is it just?
it is, and it seems to continually be spinning now. It's just not even stopping.
That means the rudder's shot. So I'm just gonna let it spin because there's no sense in. If it's still spinning, then he realizes the rudder's broken. Grabbing the wheel's not going to do anything.
So while you're up at the wheel, Hira's going to run back down, and I guess you hear she hears you say, "Well, we can't. The boat's no good." Here, you're standing in the hallway, right? You at the hallway now is kind of sort of slanted, and from around the corner down there, because it goes down past. There's 4 rooms, and then it goes into a T section because the back of it has 2 separate rooms that are used for bigger things. One of them's storage, one of them's like a meeting area for the captain and whatnot. Around that corner comes a small wave of water, and you realize with horror that the boat has evidently been filling up as this whole hallway gets flooded now. And it doesn't cover you up or anything, but it's to you, it's to your knees, right? And you're just like, oh shit! And you turn back, you see Mandrich come down the stairs, just getting ready to tell you that the wheel is broke or whatever. And you both see this, right? And it just seems like everything is just getting worse and worse, with the light and the thunder and the rain and all that, It's just crazy. And then everything just goes black. All right. You can
As
hear...
in we're knocked out, or everything,
Yeah.
the storm stops?
No, as in you guys are pulled into the darkness with the boat as it sinks below the waves. But you don't die. You can hear birds when you wake up.
Mandrich is like, this is that stupid thieves' fault.
I mean, it could be. I'm not going to blame you.
You know, it's always the beautiful people that have the ugliest hearts. Just
Hey,
thinking
I'm-
bad of everybody.
So
I'm just mad that I'm dying at such a beautiful young age.
So here, Lauren, you're laying there.
Yes.
You realize you're laying. You open your eyes. It's bright sunlight. You can hear waves, birds a little bit, and you kind of roll on your side because you feel like someone's beat you with a sack of soap, right? And looking at you, staring at you, is the wizard. He's looking right back at you. He just opened his eyes. So the first thing you see, Mandrich, besides hearing the sounds of the ocean and the birds, is you see Hira staring at you, longingly in your eyes. Yeah, exactly. It's pretty horrific.
Crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you.
Am I dead?
Are you okay?
Oh,
No.
it's you.
No,
Oh.
we're alive.
Lass, you need to do something about your hair. Oh.
Behind her, you can hear a cough, and you see Finch kind of setting up, looking. He's kind of like got his eyes down because the sun is really bright, and you're like. And then a shadow falls over. Right. You see a large man standing there on the ocean. As you look around, there's jungle as far as you can see in either direction. Ocean behind you. You're on this beach. Waves are coming up. And then there's a shadow crosses over with a very tall, large man. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Jeremy.
Standing on the ocean.
No, he's standing on the beach toward the.
Oh, I could have sworn you said man standing on the ocean. I was
No,
like,
no.
Okay.
So
Like
go ahead
a
and introduce
human
it.
man, or
Well, describe yourself, Jeremy.
let's.
So Jeremy's character's now entered the game.
You see a tall, very broad, very physical-looking human. Long black hair, deep tan skin. Very little in the way of tangible equipment. Dressed in like a harness and it's a little more substantial than a loincloth, but not by much. And sandals.
So Tarzan, basically.
Kinda, yeah.
Mandridge is gonna roll over and see Finch laying on the beach with him, and goes like, "Oh, sure, now you show up." And then he's gonna look at this tall person and just kind of like take him in, and go like, "Well, now what have we got ourselves into? Who might you be?" As he tries to stand up. Can he stand up?
Sure. You guys feel like you've been beat to death, but yeah, you can get up for sure. Got sand all over you, that kind of thing.
Yeah, stand up and
Yeah,
wiping
he's
the
gonna
sand
he's
off.
gonna brush off his
Close.
sand off his clothes and try to straighten up his clothes, and he's gonna start messing with his hair and his mutton chops, just trying to make himself presentable.
Bird
As-
nest is still there.
Handsome gnomes tend to do.
Okay.
Does
Tom?
he understand me when I ask him who he might be, or
What
He's,
language are you asking in?
yeah.
common?
He speaks common, but the common spoken down here is very broken to what you guys are used in the city lands above, of course. But it's still, you still can communicate, no problem. It's just not as developed, I guess, would be.
Who you? Where are we?
I thought by your dress you'd be a little more articulate.
Oh, well,
Currently.
I judged by your look on your face that you were a lot less articulate. My apologies.
I am Tarnum.
Tarna. Yark.
Can you spell that? No, just joking.
Tarna.
You
Well.
seem to have fallen out of a nasty spill out in the sea. Count
Aye.
yourself lucky you're alive.
Aye, that we do, considering most of the crew seems to have been killed and strung up in the nets before we got out.
Like everybody without a level died.
Say what? Oh, it was like everybody without a what?
Level.
Yeah.
All those level zeros dead.
Aye, it was not a pretty scene. I don't suppose you know what might have happened.
The seas are strange here. Sometimes
Chuck, the birds are loud.
Okay. Yeah, we should
seas are strange here. Sometimes they open up and let out a torrent of water and wind. Swallow whatever they want.
Well, I
Might
don't
not
know.
go to my-
I don't know any torrents of water that tie people to nets, though.
Tied
Sweep
to
them
that.
overboard, maybe, but the bodies of most of the crew are tied to the nets before the ship went down, and all the boats were gone.
Have you angered any sorcerers? Wizards.
Well, I was pretty angry, but we were just passengers.
Hell, who can say?
Me and my companions, and he points to the other two, were sent to. Are we going to Inklu-Naid or New Anak? I'm still confused. I thought you said we're going to New Anak, but then you said we're going to Inklu-Naid.
Enoch is a town in Inklu-Naid.
Oh, so we're not actually heading toward New Enoch.
Where you're from? No.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's what was throwing me off. I thought
Oh.
you said that's where we were headed. Okay. So, yeah, sorry about that.
You're
No, we were just passengers being sent here to investigate the marketability for a trade route. So I doubt we had anything to do with sorcerers. The
They're
young
any
lass
evil-
here is a
I sent
druid,
you.
and
I sent you a
the
DM,
tall
Jeremy.
fella's a
Discord.
non-speaker so far. You did a what?
I sent Jeremy a DM Discord. In
Oh.
Discord.
Oh.
Anyway, go ahead.
Also, Chuck, the water is a bit loud.
Is it? I can't tell if it's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that for you guys or for them?
I don't know about the stream.
Uh,
It's really loud in here.
See, that's wild because
Overpowering.
overpowering. It's
I
interesting.
thought Tracy's dog was drinking something, or
Is that better?
Yes.
Can you still hear it all
much
right?
better.
Can stream hear it? I never know.
Like it literally, it sounded like water was going right into my ears.
Good, because that's exactly what happened while I go in the boat. Absolutely.
Well, then I didn't. Means I couldn't
Realism.
hear anything.
Anyway, so yeah, you guys are standing there. This guy has walked over top of you. And anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Continue your discussion or whatnot.
Like I said, I pointed to my companions and said, "The young lass here is a druid named Heirloom or something, and the tall, skulky, silent one has yet to tell us anything about him, so we don't even know his name. But he's supposed to be our guide."
Some guy you got.
That's what I said.
Honey,
Well-
where are we?
Oh, he looks down one end of the beach, and then he looks down the other end of the beach.
You say the beach, I'm gonna hit you with my stick.
I just level you with a gaze. Like, you go ahead and try that.
Now,
We're in a
Tarnum,
land called.
Tarnum, you will recognize one member of the party, Finch. There, he definitely looks like some of the elves you've seen so far in this area, as far as
Okay.
native to this land.
Okay.
Did we make it? Are we in Enoch? Are we in where are we?
No, you're not in Enoch. This whole land is called Inklu-Naid, but as to specifics, you know a little bit less than I. And I don't know very much. We've been wandering for a while. This land is a bit strange.
You said we've been wandering? You have friends?
Oh, you could say that.
I look around him because he's so big, and I look around. I'm like, honey, I just see you.
The Matu people, they're back in the bush.
The Matu people?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm looking for the Matu people. I have to read this prompt for Chuck better.
Yeah, just woke up. or
There's
what?
just me.
There's just you.
Mander's just thinking they're probably not the only ones that got hit on the head at this point.
Chuck, do I recognize where
What
on the
to
island
be-
we would be?
What's that?
Would I recognize where on the island we would be?
No, you've never seen this area before at all. I will say this much: now that you're looking around, you can see on the shore lots of shipwreck items. You know, there's rigging, pieces of the boat. So clearly, that boat broke up during the storm, and you guys basically just got washed ashore. Is what's happening. The ocean's just
I'm
kind of
gonna
moving.
go over and look for our gear, like signs of our backpacks.
Um,
Is anything washed up?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. All three of you, give me a percentile roll. I like percentile rolls. You want to roll as low as you can.
Yeah, percentile.
But you don't want to
What
roll too low.
Did you say we want to roll low, but not too low?
Yeah.
Well, that's specific.
I never really like to tell if I want high or low. I like for you guys to roll and we'll see where it goes.
I got an 82.
It's pretty good. In this case. How
I
about
have
you?
a 0, 0, and a 4.
All right, Dan.
I'm
A 4 for
assuming
you.
that's a 4.
That is a 4. And Finch?
I 91.
91. Okay. All right. So, I think probably the druid had the most equipment, I think, out of everybody. I know that the wizard was traveling light, and I know that Finch was traveling light. So, with those numbers, I could say you guys could dig around the wreckage. You could probably find most of your gear. You're probably going to be missing stuff that can be easily replaced, the simple stuff. Because the main stuff that you carry,
Good thing I put those journals in my pockets.
Yeah, well, typically stuff that's important to you carry with you anyway, because this is pretty much wherever you go, it's always going to be lawless in the world, in this time and age, regardless of who is in charge or what's going on, right? Anyway, so you'll mess around, you'll find most of your belongings there. The one thing you will notice though, you don't seem to find any food or fresh water. So you don't have any food or fresh water on you. Everybody does have a water skin with them that's got water in it, but that's all you've got.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Chat's funny. I swear. Anyways, so yeah, you get all this stuff together. Tarnum, or you just kind of stand there and take it all in while they're running around looking through stuff. This is the oddest procession you've ever seen. You just... Other than the jungle elf, you know that there are elves down here in this. You've seen these types of. They don't necessarily very They're not. So the tribe that he's from, the jungle elves down here tend to. They're not super tribal. They're okay with some civilization and whatnot. So they'll talk and that kind of thing. But now you've only seen them at a few trade meets with your village over years, right? They're not something that you just commonly run into. They are around. And your first inclination is probably to ask him what is this area called? But you can tell by the way he's looking around that he doesn't know where the hell he is. And them two right there, they're not even from this planet as far as you're concerned. They're not even here. You're not even really sure. They must have come from some short people planet or something. You're not understanding where they're from.
Short people planet.
Yeah, because they're both really short.
Good looking.
Short people got no.
Why don't you guys go ahead and describe yourselves to him, actually, because I don't think Tarman was here earlier. So once you go, we'll start with the druid. Go around, Tracy. Describe yourself to him.
Okay, Jeremy. So I'm a twilight elf. I am short. So from an elf perspective, I'm like 4'3". I'm the tiniest elf you've ever seen. I'm old. My hair is grayed and kind of purple. My skin is dark, like a
Not
a purplish, grayish kind of dark tone, and I have these purple eyes that are just so bright and vibrant and piercing. And I'm like wearing mostly you just see the cloak, whatever's underneath, and there's now a bit of a water-sogged bird nest on my head. My hair's kind of dreadlocky because I just live in the woods. I live among the animals and the birds. I'm probably really preoccupied with keep looking at the seagulls and trying to call them into my hands. And I'm just a little old weirdo looking mini elf. Darkest skin you've ever seen.
You may want to focus on getting your stuff and getting off the beach. After sundown, that's when the man-eating crabs come out.
Oh,
Man-eating
I love
crabs.
seafood.
Get out my journal and write man-eating crabs.
And where would you suggest we head to be safe?
Inland, high ground. I have a camp near here.
How far away does inland high ground look to us, Chuck?
At this point, you guys can see jungle. not very far away from you, probably 20 yards, probably off the beach. It's just beach going up, and then there's the jungle. So you're pretty close to it. From standing where you're at right now, you don't make out any escarpments or any mountains. But Tarnum seems to think that there's something in, interior wise. But you don't see anything
So we
relative.
can't
Just beach going that way, and just jungle.
So we can't see the mountains for the trees. Gotcha.
That's exactly
Mandridge
right.
has got to describe himself to
So
Jeremy.
you assume that you must be in a low area here, which is probably would make sense for this beach. Beaches are typically found not on cliffs. So
And when you see Mandrich, you assume first that he's a child, except for the long silken flowy mane of hair and the mutton chops. That he's definitely not a child. But even having just climbed out of the sea, you can tell that he's very well dressed and prefers to be that way.
and then
But you can also tell that he's probably a gnome, from what you may or may not have heard.
they don't know about gnomes down here.
Okay. Then he just looks like a hairy kid to you, but a well-dressed hairy kid.
Well,
And then
you
did
said-
Finch? Did you
Tarnum,
describe yourself at all, Finch?
Finch.
What? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead and describe yourself to Tarnum before he replies.
So, you see like a 6'2" jungle elf, black hair, and you'll probably see like bone daggers and a blowpipe.
Looks like he's had little. He was painted there for a little bit. There's still some drying camo left because they never washed you up or anything. I don't think you ever washed either. You would pretty much fuck the world. So
No, you basically can see like paint on the face, but like washed out because of the water and stuff.
yeah. And again, he's the only thing that you recognize familiar amongst this group. At least he is something familiar to you. You know, he's from this land, anyways. Those other two, you're not really sure what they are.
Tarnum, your camp. You said your camp is close. Could we stay with you for the night till we get our bearings sorted?
I look to the jungle elf and I say, "You let your slaves speak on your behalf."
Our slave.
You'll see Mandrich stand up almost an inch taller at that comment. They're nobody's slave, lad.
Would I recognize that he's from the island?
He looks like a human Inklu, you know, less tribal, more civilized human. But civilized is a loose term on this continent. You know what I mean? He's not walking around in like the latest clothing or whatever. He looks like a barbarian from the jungles. You know, he just doesn't look like he's given up. He's not went full native, I guess is the term. He's not running around wearing nothing, you know, carrying a spear. He's got some accoutrements to him. So you know he's probably from the Inklu tribe. Because there's two main tribes on this continent of humans, and that's, well, outside of outsiders from the Notions and other stuff. But anyway, it's the Inklu and the Naid. The Naid, they shut off the shackles of civilization when they could and ran back into the trees and the jungles and left. Whereas the Inklu kept a lot of the skills and abilities and kind of stuff they learned from being civilized as humans go, as far as with the Notion Empire, and even with Unklar's reign, they learned some things too as well. So they'll be the ones to kind of think, for lack of a better term, using like Mennonites and Amish. You know, Amish go full bore, or Mennonites will use a credit card. You know, that kind of thing. You know, it's sort of a, you know, these guys are a little more sold to civilization, whereas the Inklu or the Naid were just like, you know what, we've had enough of this bullshit. First, these people show up and try to take over our place, and then this Unklar guy shows up and tries to take over the whole world and does. So they're pretty much done with empires and all that, right? They just receded back into the jungles. You know. Anyway, that's my spiel on that. So that's what you see right there, Finch.
So, No, I'm just going to ignore it. Still trying to gather my stuff.
All right.
My,
So you ignore his
my-
comment about the slaves?
Yep.
Okay.
I see you're having no more luck getting them to speak than we did.
Well, I've got a camp further into the interior, but trek's not for the faint of heart. I heard something prowling in the woods, much worse than man-eating crabs. So,
Well, we're not exactly defenseless, so if time is of the essence, then maybe we should move along and be ready for anything. Willing to give any aid we can for your hospitality.
all right, but I won't hold up at all. And he just turns and starts walking heading toward the jungle.
Mandrich is gonna sigh, grab whatever of his belongings that he found, and start trotting after him. Think like a little penguin following a wolf.
All right. You guys will gather your stuff up. The elf comes, but he's still very silent, as if he's keeping to himself. Interestingly enough, Mandrich, you'll notice as they enter the jungle, it looks pretty overgrown. But you'll notice the barbarian and the druid and the elf seem to navigate through it pretty easy, as if they see a trail that it's not obvious to you. So you realize that this is probably some sort of a game trail or something they're on, but with their being so attuned to nature that they can make it out a lot easier, seems to be. Obviously, Tarnum, who just walked through here, knew where it was at, right? But you're like stepping over roots and, little small stumps and all kinds of stuff, and you're just like, God. And they're just kind of walking through like it's not a problem at all. And you guys will probably walk
why don't you just announce to the whole world where we're headed? Just follow the trail and walk with a soft foot. You're tiny enough. You're like...
As Mandrich hops over a root and bounces closer to the group, he's going to take a swing at her shin with his staff. Mind your tongue, woman, and keep on going.
Y'all will travel for probably about an hour, something like that. Probably about 30 minutes into the jungle, you realize that the light that was shining, right, was not like morning light. It was afternoon light. Because suddenly, very quickly, it seems like it starts to get a little darker. Being in the jungle like this jungle is very thick. Your only assumption can be that the sun has moved in a rotation out to where maybe it's starting to enter behind a mountain chain or something's obstructing as the light really goes out kind of fast. It's not dark or anything, but it's getting afternoon, late evening now, just like that, really fast, right?
And we're in a shadow.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to remind you, Chuck, that as a gnome, I have enhanced hearing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay, that's good.
as we're traveling around, do I hear anything that sounds like something maybe stalking us or following us, or something unusual sounding that maybe I should let our tour guide be aware of?
You just hear the normal sounds of the jungle and that kind of thing, birds chirping and that kind of stuff. You do hear some weird noises here and there that you've never heard before. It kind of sets you off. But after about the third time of trying to warn the barbarian, he's just like, I know what it is. It's common here. Don't worry about it. Because you can hear some weird screeching and howling going on. You're like, oh shit. And you're like, hey. And he's like, not a big deal. And you're starting
I would also know it.
Yes. But you actually would be very happy now to actually hear some sounds that sound like where you're from, instead of wagons and people talking nonstop, right? Hera's just going to enjoy it. It's all new to her, but she loves the sounds of it.
And I also have enhanced hearing, so yeah, I'm just wondering what these animals are, what these critters are. I've got my journal out and jotting down little notes.
The wizard's more like, because he doesn't want to get ate by something, right? I mean, obviously he knows nothing about this place.
Are you a city boy, Mandrich? Are you a city boy?
No, not really.
Just not a jungle boy.
Just not a jungle boy.
Yeah, he's
Did-
never been around
like,
cats
that would
and
sound
this kind of stuff. You know?
completely different.
Yeah. Like for example, you can hear monkeys screaming and howling.
I'm more of a woodsy type.
Right.
And a mountain, mountain delving type, but
Right.
not a city.
Hey, Excel, good to see you, buddy. Good to see everybody here. Sounds like everybody's first time in Australia. Well, you're not wrong.
Welcome to the jungle.
Yeah. All right. So as you guys reach the area, what kind of area have you got set up for your camp, Tom? Can you explain what did you pick actually? What would you have picked? Because you can pretty much you got varying choices here. There's some caves, there's some cliffs. There's actually a little place where it's kind of sort of like a little I don't want to call what it's called. It's like a little cove or whatever within some hills. So you've got some various things you could choose. What would you prefer? Hey, Heather.
If I could get some kind of like cove with like a cliff backing and some caves in there, that's probably what I'd go.
All right, so here's what you found. All right, there is you do find a place. It looks like it's an escarpment in the middle of the jungle. He leads you guys to this escarpment. It looks like just a bunch of like a huge piece of stone or mountain coming out of the ground, like a big cliff face, right? At the very top of it, as the sun is starting to set, you can make out what appears to be jungle across the top of it as well, right? It's way high in the air. Now, down below here are some very large boulders. Some of them are huge. I mean, we're talking just really large boulders. You could pretty much camp out on one of them if you wanted to. And they've sort of created sort of like a little bit of an area down here that's sort of protected, right? Like almost coming out from the escarpment, sort of like, picture like two arms of rock kind of coming out, right? Large boulders. In the center of that area is a little bit of a small clearing that runs up against the escarpment. And there appears to be a cave entrance there, a very large cave. You would probably estimate the cave opening probably to be about 20 feet tall. It's massive, right? Now, as you come up on this thing, you're like, whoa, or whatever. Tarnum will...
This is in the past, right?
I'm sorry?
Oh, no, I see. Okay, never mind.
So Tarnum will tell the group, he'll say, hey, it's safe. There's no problem here. He believes these used to be the lair of an old hiss beast. These are large creatures that are sort of reptile-like that from time to time you can find in the jungle. But all he ever found here when he first showed up here a few days ago was bones. And the musk smells like nothing's been here in a while. Interestingly enough, though, he doesn't tell you this, but when you guys walk up to this cave entrance and kind of walk in, you can see where he's created like a place for a fire and whatnot. Back in the back, though, you can see what appears to be some holes in the walls. Little small caves. If you think of like sort of like in the U.S. out west, how we've got the cave dwellers that lived in the walls. Think of like that, but it's within this big massive cave. There's little tiny caves. You'll see probably about 5 of those sort of sporadically placed out. They're all on the ground except for one, which is actually comes out over top of a little cliff looking down where you guys are camping inside this big cave. It's a huge mammoth looking cave. So whatever was living here at one time was huge. You can see lots of bones around here. None of them that big. Your assumption is they were either creatures that wandered in here and died, or whatever lived here before ate them, right? And just didn't clean up after itself or whatever. Didn't throw the bones away.
So when we get to the camp, I'm gonna quickly light. I have all these like resin torches around the camp to repel mosquitoes with smoke. So I'm gonna light those. They just kind of smolder. And across like a large stone is laid a shirt of scale armor and a helmet, which I collect and put on. And then I go over to the fire and start smoking.
Mandrich is gonna kind of like edge over toward a hero, whatever the name is, and go like, "Well, now we got 2 bone-carrying people. You think they're related?"
Well, clearly not. This one's a human, and that other one is an elf. So I don't. Can't you just? You can tell that they're not related.
Mandrich just rolls his eyes at her.
Silly gnomes. How, don't they know how the birds and the bees work? So you, Tarnum, you put on scale armor and a helmet once we got back to camp.
Mhm. That's correct. I got like a belt or like a girdle that I leather girdle that I.
So I'm curious. I
Is there
think I know what
something we need to be ready? Should I be getting? I'll pull out my bow. Like, is something coming? I didn't hear any. Is something coming? I didn't hear a thing.
Are you sure those caves are empty, lad?
They're empty.
Should we be concerned?
Oh, the crickets are loud.
Oh, is that what that was?
I didn't say they were crickets. She said they were crickets.
Should we be worried about the crickets? How big are the crickets here?
Have I heard this sound before?
Would I recognize it?
Chuck, have I heard this sound before?
Yeah, it's called insects. You're in the jungle.
Gotcha. Okay.
I just
Are
forgot
they
to turn them on.
trusted?
Maybe you should turn the water off.
There's no danger at the present
Oh yeah, I
time,
forgot about that.
but you can never be too careful.
But I can't even hear it on my end. So
Yeah.
that's how low I've got it.
When I go
Anyways.
wandering, I don't like to lug around extra weight. I left it here.
Okay,
Hmm.
so we're not in danger.
Are we gonna need to
I didn't say that.
hunt for some food for tonight, or
Can any of you hunt?
Of course I
I
can.
mean,
hunt.
I can do some
I
basic
prefer to.
hunting. But
I have berries. We can eat.
I mean,
We can eat berries instead. But if we need to take a life,
I mean,
offering
I would-
berries to a barbarian—that's not insulting.
I mean, I would guess I would be able to hunt because I'm from the jungle.
Well, we don't know. You don't ever talk.
No, I know, but I should be able to.
I mean, I don't have a lot of weapons on me, but I'm not afraid to kill a squirrel or two if I need be.
We'll make do. I'll feed you this once.
Make do stew is my favorite.
And when I hear him mention like squirrels, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like in my mind, and then I'm just gonna I'm that's the first thing I'm gonna say is like, you won't find squirrels here.
so you actually speak.
Yes. I that's the only thing I'm gonna say. You won't find squirrels here. And then I'm just doing my own thing again.
Mandrich is just going to look at him in shock that he spoke. Well, I guess that's good to know then. But I'm still willing to help out any way I can. I carry my own weight.
Yeah, you guys are all got pretty good. This group's got some good hearing to it. Oh, Tarn, what's your wisdom score?
That's a good question. 8.
All right.
Oh,
So I don't know, make sure I've got this right. Finch is a 15 non-prime. You're an 8 non-prime. Hera is 18 prime, and then Mandrith is an 18 non-prime. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. As you guys are discussing all this, you see Tarnum sort of almost check out from the discussion for just a second. You guys can hear something in the distance. Seems to be going through the jungle, and you can hear trees being pushed aside. And you see him get
That's not
really,
my belly.
really tense. He gets really tense.
I would recognize that, right?
You have
Yes.
heard the sounds, but you don't know what it is. You've often wondered. It's not calm.
All right.
Close. But you will hear in the
That's big.
distance, in the jungle, this moving. And a loud roar just issues from the jungle. I mean loud. And that's when you really see Tarnum kind of bulk up, all of a sudden, like, and you hear him kind of mutter to himself, hiss beast, or something like that. And you're like, what the fuck is this going on?
And
Right.
in the background, Chuck, they hear a scratching, scrambling sound as Mandrich tries to climb up the cliff wall.
Yeah, I bet so. He's like, ah. What do you say to him, Tarnum? As the moment seems to be kind of,
Well, that depends. Can hiss beasts climb?
some can fly. But you guys are still inside this cave.
What's it? You said hiss beast, honey. I never heard of that. Is that it? What's a hiss beast? I never heard of that before. Please. And I'm gonna pull out my little notebook and I'm just looking at.
I start slathering myself in mud.
Okay.
I get real quiet and real serious. I start slathering myself in mud, and then I'm going to sink into the brush.
You can hear what sounds like some other creatures getting stirred up about all this. Some moving going on. A bunch of stuff growing with it. So something's out there stirred up all the animals in the jungle now. They're all carrying on, that kind of thing. You see Tarnham slapping mud on himself. He's grabbing this clay area right here around the fire, and he's just slapping it up and slapping on himself. There is a little pool of water in this cave. That was one of the reasons that he picked this cave. It's got a little fresh water source, it looks like.
Is this cave on the ground level, or is it partially up the hill? Oh, okay.
No, it's on ground level. It's at the bottom of that escarpment. Yeah, absolutely. And you guys will hear this thing getting closer and closer. Again, there's another loud roar. And what's got you really nervous is this cave entrance is so damn big that something that's 20 foot tall could probably come in here. And if it was even taller, it could probably bend down. You don't know what this thing is. All you know is he called it a hiss beast, right? You don't really know what that means because obviously I told him they do all different things, but you guys don't know what the hell it is.
Drud, can you go talk to that thing?
I've left the cave. I am in the jungle.
Okay.
In the brush.
Do you say something to them?
I said I was not going to hold. I said I was not going to hold their hand.
So you say that to them and you walk off, right?
Well, there's a difference between not holding our hand and just running off, leaving us to die.
Take a hint.
I'm also going to.
I'm very
go out.
purposefully not speaking.
And I'm going to hide.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Manwich and be like, and gonna scurry.
And he's gonna sit there and goes like, "Do you think that thing can actually hear me over all that screaming it's doing?"
I'm getting far away from.
Give me a hide check, please, because you're hiding there in the cave, right?
Me?
No,
I'm talking about Finch.
Are there places to hide in the cave?
Well,
no,
there's some rocks and stuff in here. Sure, there's places you could hide.
No,
I'm behind one.
I went outside.
Okay, and there's also the caves
like
that you could go into.
Bushes.
Remember, there's some smaller caves in here.
Hiding in, yeah,
I thought you said the smaller caves were higher up on the cliff, though.
One of them is inside. Inside, there's one that's up on a little cliff inside this cave. The rest of them are down on the ground level.
I'm gonna hide by in the bushes and the trees.
Okay, what did you roll for a number?
I have not rolled yet.
Okay,
That's
go ahead and give me a
right now.
Yeah, give me a hide. And Tarnum, are you trying to hide in the bush as well?
Yeah, I'm kind of vanishing into the scrub,
Okay, all right.
The jungle.
Do you have? Give me a deer stalker roll, if you would.
Okay.
I'll use that.
15 prime.
15 prime. Okay.
Do I get pluses from height?
Do you?
Yeah.
As a no
for your race or what?
No, for my class.
I have a skill for it. It would be a skill if you had it.
I have a skill for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I just don't have the stuff with it.
You roll it normally. People who don't have the skill have a harder time. Because
Okay,
you
so
have
I don't
the
get
skill,
any pluses from the skill itself. Okay.
No,
Right.
Not
That's
in
what I
here.
needed to know.
Yeah, because that typically, if someone rolls a check for me and and it's not an ability they have, then I don't even they can give me whatever they want to, but I'll subtract their level off immediately because you don't have any
That
experience
would-
in it.
That would be 22 prime.
It's easier for me to do that than to tell you to do all that math. You just do like normal, and then I subtract. That's why I ask.
Yep, 22.
All right,
What
so
does
what was-
wilderness lore give me?
That allows you to identify plants and small animals and that kind of stuff. A lot of the stuff like
Okay.
that. It's native to your terrain. Okay, some of the things are. You've never been to, so there's a lot of stuff down here you're not going to be very familiar with, but you do understand basic ecosystems and that kind of thing, right? It allows you to maybe to sometimes even look for certain types of animals, like maybe deer or rabbit or something like that. You can do a little bit of foraging, that kind of thing. As far as hiding goes, I mean,
I have moved silently, so
Oh, well, that's great.
I'm gonna head towards the way that
Yeah, so what I was gonna
Tarn
tell you,
went
while
and
you
look
two-
for a bush.
While you and Mandritz are talking, those two, they go out and leave, and then you look at Mandritz, and he looks at you, and Mandritz, what are you thinking?
Mandritch is thinking that the other two are crazy to go out and fight something that sounds so big
Right.
when it would be better to hide. He looks at. Say your name again, Tracy.
Hiralorn.
Okay.
Or
Hero.
Hira.
Hero or Hero?
Hira.
Oh, Hira.
Lorn.
Couldn't have picked an easier name.
I know,
No,
Betty.
She was trying to be fancy. So so
I
he-
can
he-
change
he's
my
just-
name
he's
if
just-
y'all can't.
he's just gonna start calling her Lassie from now on, not
No.
because of the dog. He's like, I
That's
think it'd
not-
be better if we hid, and if we need to hide, I've got a perfect place for it.
I don't want to be loud. I'm like, what do you think they're doing? That's what I'm doing. Going to hide.
I've got someplace we can hide that's safe. And he describes to her the spell rope trick.
Ah.
He goes, I can cast a spell where we can hide and nobody can see us, period. I don't think the thing could climb a rope.
Okay. I'm just
He-
watching you.
Yeah, because you're
He
alone
sees
now.
size,
It's just
he's
the
like-
two of you here.
I know, but he sighs and he's like, ah, and he runs to the cave to try to see where the other two have gone. Are they close by? Can he see them?
You glance out, you can see trees moving. Okay, it's gotten dark out here now, but the moon's out, right? So you can see the jungle. You can see trees actually shifting. You look around real quick. You don't see them, and then you hear another loud roar come out from the jungle, and that's when you realize that you guys are gonna. This thing's heading in your direction for sure, and you can tell. Your hearing's good enough to tell they're walking and everything is. Something's looking. Someone must have got your scent. Maybe you don't know. You don't know. Yeah.
To be quiet.
Yeah, he can't hear you because he's run to the front of the cave, and he's a gnome. He doesn't know about these things. Okay?
Right.
He's like,
Okay.
So you gonna go back and give her
thief, Tarnum, come to the cave. I can save us.
You'll probably get the
I'm
reply of
out-
silence.
I-
my guess.
I am
And,
out the
and
cave
he's just standing
and
at the
looking
he's
for
just
a
standing
bush.
at the mouth of the cave, and he's just doing this, hoping that they look
Okay.
like, what's that crazy idiot doing? And he's like, come back here, come back here.
And,
I'm out
yeah.
the cave looking for a bush to hide.
Okay,
Silently,
so wait a minute.
I'm
let's-
like-
Oh, you
see-
left the cave. Okay,
Well,
great.
hold up.
'Cause
So
you're
he's at the
loud.
mouth. He's at the mouth of the cave. You see him doing that, right? And as you start walking toward him, you can hear it too. You realize if you go out there, Druid, you're going to get ate probably. The thing is very
They're
close
out
to.
there.
Yeah, but you don't see them.
They're trained specialists.
Yeah. And you're not. You
I'm
can
one
hide in
with the
forest.
nature.
This is a little different than the jungle, though. I mean, you've already had a couple snakes try to crawl down on your shoulder already. Unbeknownst to you. So
bother
you're
her.
kind of. It might. She's not used to having snakes crawl on her. I mean, I'm not saying she's not be friends with them,
Have you
but
seen her hair?
No.
Have you seen her
that's
hair?
birds. That's birds. That's birds.
Her hair is. She said it's
Which
all
birds are
nasty
reptiles
cornrows.
technically. So anyway.
Yeah, I got dreadlocks.
I just picture
so
this
they prob-
conversation going on while the earth is starting to tremble. With
Right,
the stars and
right.
things getting
So
closer and louder.
you see her come up, and she's like, you can tell she's concerned. They're not answering you. What do you want to do, Mandritch?
He runs back inside the cave.
Do you
And you said
acknowledge her?
the puddle with the. No, I mean I've done everything I can, but anyway, you said the mud puddle was inside the cave, right?
Yeah.
He just does what the big barbarian did. He dives into the mud puddle, rolls around in it, gets all covered up in mud and dirt, and runs back outside again.
Oh
And
my
he's
God.
like, "Fine, we'll play in the dirt." And he runs and tries to find the dirtiest, darkest spot that he can find to blend in.
So he runs past you toward the mud hole and dives into the mud hole. Druid, you're watching him do this. He just had mentioned to you about some sort of rope trick or spell, right? Do you mention this to him? Because it looks like he's went crazy. He looks like my dog that rolls around here on the ground all the time.
Where's your spot?
That made no sense.
Now you can hear the thing. Sounds like it's just outside the cave walking around.
Yeah, I'm getting mud on me because I'm like,
She looks at you,
might
runs
as
over,
well.
and starts putting mud on herself, right? A
and go
large.
to-
I was gonna say, you guys, as you
you
guys
said
get up out
there's
of
little caves low or only
Yeah.
high?
there's 4 caves that are around in a circle in this big mammoth cave, little cave entrances, I should say. And then there's
I'm
one
just gonna-
back in the back up on a cliff inside this massive cave.
right. But I'm going into a little tiny cave.
Okay.
And just,
She gets up and runs to one of the little tiny caves. What are you doing, Mandrich?
I said I ran outside and I'm just
Okay.
trying to find some dirt to blend into.
All right, so you get up out of the mud. She takes off running toward one of those little caves. You see the big, massive cave entrance. You can see a large shadow now over top, blocking out the moonlight that's coming into the cave. So something is outside that cave entrance. You look over at Hera. Hera has stepped inside one of those little caves, and she looks over at you, and you can make out what appears to be some large, stark white-looking hands. They're larger than normal. Like my hand's about like that. This thing's about that big. And you see them kind of come around and grasp her shoulders as she looks back and screams at some sort of like, they look like sort of whitish with a tint of blue color eyeballs in the dark. And it starts to pull her back into the recess of the cave. And you realize she's going to get 8. And that's where we're going to stop it for
What?
today. She's going to get 8.
I'm gonna get eaten.
Eaten. Is that better?
Eaten.
So
8. You gonna be 8 up.
I'm
going to be 8 up.
Nibbled.
That's where we're going to stop the session for the day. That's a good place. Good stop.
Bobby,
session.
Peter, and Greg got lost in a cave
So
when
That's
they
right.
when the
Her new
Brady's went
character-
to Hawaii.
Her new character will have a name easy for everyone to pronounce.
I like Hera.
Or maybe
I
they're
think it's very cool.
or maybe they're friends. Maybe they're friends.
All right, so let me make sure we understand what's going on here. 2 of them are outside in the jungle somewhere, stalking or hiding or whatnot. The 2 inside have also encrusted themselves in mud, but one has decided to go into a cave, and now she's met some friends. And the wizard's toward the entrance of the cave. He's not at the entrance, so whatever's out there hasn't seen him. He sees her being pulled into the recesses of the dark cave by some sort of large clawed-like, stark white-looking hands, and then he turns and he sees that shadow. And you can smell a loud. It's not loud, but like sound-wise, but it's just a very loud smell of. You don't know what the hell that is. You've never smelled that before, and you're starting to get worried now. And that's basically where we're going to stop at.
Okay, you said Finch and Tarn. What was your name again? Because Chuck's called you like 8 different things so far.
Tarnum.
Tarnum.
Tarnum. Okay. Tarnum.
Nahm.
AHM. That's fine. And you said they were outside. They're covered in mud, but are they laying on the ground? Or
You never saw them. You never saw them. They disappeared. Once they went out the cave entrance, you never saw them again.
Oh, okay. I thought you.
I mean,
thought
for all
said I
you
saw
know, they
them when I
left.
went up.
Oh no, they hid. They used their skills very well, actually. So they are blended in with the jungle.
I should say that my I should have used primeval instincts on that to get a +4 on the dex check, but
Okay. All right. So, My phone is just going off like crazy. I think we will be in the
Hobbit
clear.
says she wants you to come to eat.
Yeah, well, that's one of the messages I got. That's for sure because she's getting ready to go to work. We're gonna play. Let's plan on playing next week. I think we'll be okay. I have need to check. There's some kind of con out there floating around. I gotta look at my con schedule. I've got like 3 virtual cons we're sponsoring.
You said that was your last con.
Physical.
It is the
for
last
year.
con.
Yeah, physical, but virtually the company. I've got. Let's see, RPG Alliance con. We've got the Cure for the Crawl Ethereal con, and then there's one more con. Can't think what it is. I have to. Well, Acadia Con we're doing this week up there. But there's I don't know. So I got to check my schedule and get it straightened up for the rest of the year. But we're going to plan on playing again next week. Next week we will dive into the nitty gritty of playing. I'll have some maps and stuff set up and all that good stuff. Today I wasn't sure. I really couldn't remember how far we got with character development. Then I realized we actually had finished last week. So that was good though. That was good. We have some giveaways, don't we? You've conned us for the last time. Now, you know me. I like ending sessions with you guys wondering about what the next session is going to be like. I think everybody does likes to do that. It's always fun, right? I'll be here all weekend. Try the veal. All right, I'm gonna switch over. If you've not entered our giveaway, go ahead and do that. It's exclamation point raffle. Please give us a follow. Just want to thank everybody for coming out and hanging out with us today. It's going to be an interesting campaign. I'm already really excited because you guys are playing some very diverse characters, and it's
doing
funny.
The boat thing as well now.
Yes, we're going to do that too here in just a second. But I
We're
want
doing
everybody to
what?
get. So this is something that I do with all my campaigns. Here at the house, everywhere. Only place I don't do this is at cons because it's just campaign run stuff, right? Is at the end of the session, I want each one of you to send me a DM in Discord with who you thought had like the best ideal or good role play moment, something that enhanced the session, right? This is a way for you guys to give back to the group amongst yourselves that I'm not involved in. Now that person will get to roll on my boon chart for a boon from the gods, and then they will also get to award a coin, a boon coin, to one of the other players. Now we didn't use any today. You guys, no need to worry about that right now. We've not started on those yet. We'll worry about that later. But they're basically just little coins you can use during the game to improve on your rolls, and you earn them by doing role play or good ideals and that kind of thing, right? That sort of stuff.
So we're voting for who had the best idea, the
Ideal,
best
role play, whatever you
like basically
whatever.
Best for any reason.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
whatever made the session good for you. Okay? Whatever you liked about the session. Oh, he did really cool, or oh, that was a good idea. Whatever. Something that made you enjoy the session from among your peers, not from me directing the story. Could be anything.
So we vote for somebody else.
That's right.
Yes.
You'll send me a message. You'll be like, man,
Oh, we
Mandritz,
send
he
you a
sucks.
DM.
Never mind. Or
Yeah.
no, yeah, you send me a DM. You'll just tell me.
got it.
I just need to know who it is and the reason why you picked him. That's all. It was good for you. Thank you. I'm so happy, Rick. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming out to the TLG Lounge. Be sure to check out our t-shirts and coffee in the lobby. I got to remind Steve to get those new t-shirts up this week on the store. He's playing the long con. Yes. You and your con jokes. All of you are funny. All right, so I'm going to close out the giveaways here in just a second. So if you haven't got in, get in. They're two $10 raffles or coupon codes you use on the new store. Again, I've told people if you get a code and it doesn't work, just let Obsidian Risk know in the Discord or email us at productsupport@troller.com. And I will get you straightened out. It's just we're going through this migration progress. So it's coming along now. What did Willie say? One of those. See, that's right. See, Willie was. I knew Willie would say something. I got to remind him this week. I think the Dr. Pepper ones. Well, the ones we have to put up are not quite a Dr. Pepper color, but they'll suffice for your use, Willie, to force your players to wear new shirts. Of course. Let's look here real quick at my votes. They have come in. Let's see. Remen sucks. Pat sucks. Oh,
That's
wait.
fair.
That's something else. Sorry, never mind. Okay. All right. Fair enough. So, this is really interesting. I don't have this happen
It's a
a
four-way
lot.
tie.
I don't have it happen a lot. Yeah. So let's do this. I'm gonna have everybody except Tarnum roll me a 20 side.
Oh shit. Okay.
No, percentile. Sorry, percentile.
Percentile. Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was thinking like, huh?
I'm not gonna tell you if high or low wins. Just roll a percentile and give me the number.
81.
What's yours?
86.
Ooh.
All right. 69.
69. Remen wins with the 69. All right. So Remen, you'll get to roll on the chart. If you want to go ahead and give me a I don't even know where it's at now. Is it on this one here? This will do. Roll your percentile for me.
Percentile. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't Jeremy get to vote?
I almost had 69 again.
Jeremy
I had
sit out
64 this
because
time.
he wasn't here long enough. He felt like to play, which is fine. Not a big deal. Though I felt like Jeremy added to it for sure.
He did. He helped
Yes.
set the stage of where we are.
That's right.
Oh.
That's what people do in hoodies. So what did you get?
64.
64. I can't find my list where I've been to con.
I would have loved to roll 69 again, but
She come out here and cleaned up while I was gone. Who does that to someone's game den? Jesus. All right, so write this in the notes. 64, Tracy. All right. We'll get him sorted next weekend. I'll have to find the list. Look for it up.
You
I'll
ever
find
find
it
that
sooner.
clip, Chuck?
What's that?
Remen gets one free chance to talk.
Yeah.
Did you ever
that's
find
it.
that? Did you ever find that clip
That clip?
from the con that you lost?
No. That's long gone. I'm pretty sure. Sadly enough. But I haven't done a thorough search. She swears up and down she searched. I lost a money clip on the way to the con. Some money in it. So I try not to stress about it because there's nothing I can do. It'll either turn up or won't. I don't know. So, but no, I haven't found it. Oh, where's it? 64, the year Chuck was born. Oh, you're funny, Rick. I'm not that old.
1864.
Hey. All right, let me switch over here and get the drawings done, and then we'll get out of here. Let's see.
My husband used to clean my office when I was away.
Oh, really? Well, that happens
Yeah.
to me. All right, so first
But
winner for
that
the
money
15
clip will show up when that new Iron Man mask comes available.
Oh man, I want that so
look,
bad.
I found
She
that
loves
money
it.
clip.
She loves it when I wear a mask to bed. Anyway, she'll be laying there at night. She'll roll over and look up in the middle of the night, and she'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's my crazy husband." Anyway, all right, first winner is going to be. Wait a minute. Okay, I thought I was going to do that again. So Biggie Paul, looks like Biggie, you have won $10. Hit Obsidian Risk up in our Discord. You know the drill, Biggie. Very nice. Second winner is Phantom. Yeah, like Rob needs. Why are you even bothering to enter anymore? You've got everything.
Rob.
I don't blame him. Congrats, Rob. That's cool. That's really good. That makes me very happy.
Don't you have everything yet?
To see you winning. He should have everything, I would think, by now, but maybe not. I don't know. You never know.
The rat. Maybe that's what grabbed me was a big giant conga rat.
He doesn't have the Mandrich T-shirt.
The Mandrich, that's right. That's a new one that's coming out. That's right. We forgot about the Mandrich t-shirt. That's exactly right.
You're guaranteed to increase your charisma by 3.
Is that what happens?
Results may vary.
At least part of you looks sexy when you're wearing it, right?
All right, so we're going to rate out, and I'm going to wish everybody a happy weekend. We really appreciate you guys coming by. Jingo's game will not be on in the morning. I think he had something come up, and he has to go on a little road trip, so he won't be around tomorrow. But we will be back Monday with Grace doing her readings, of course, of Aired and fiction. So come by and see that.
Pat, we get to sleep in.
That's right. You get to sleep in
Or
tomorrow.
Sleep in anyway.
Yeah, so, you know. I'm going to raid into a friend of ours by the name of Gooey Cube. Some of you guys might know them. He's doing a little chatting thing. We'll go give him a grade. At least it'll be gaming related, right, for everybody. Again, thanks so much, everybody, for coming out. You guys are amazing. I cannot wait to get this campaign in full throttle because there's a lot of cool stuff we've got planned. Jeremy's actually helping me work with Inklu-Naid and get it developed as a setting for us. So we've got some cool stuff coming. You know, it's going to be fun. Yeah, I know Jingo Game. I know. Well, he'll be here. He'll be here next weekend, I guess. Just not, now or whatever.
I mean, the players can show up, but it won't be as much fun.
Yeah, it won't be as much fun. It won't be. Go over and give Gooey Coob a follow if you will. Tell him we said howdy. They are just looks like they're just having a morning chat. Sounds like. But anyways, we really thank everybody for coming by and hanging out with us. I want you guys to have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Peace out.
Peace out. Try to do some trolls as in the stream when you get over there. We'll see you guys.
Stay sexy, everyone.
Stay sexy. Bye.